we're in the middle of a rescue and they pop up a commercial. Oh boy, you better hang out here for a minute, bud. Welcome to the family. You should stick around for the spiritual report, my friend. Do these look like lies right here? Does any of this look like lies to you? Oh, this is going to be a fun show. All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. So, while we're getting settled in here and getting the show started, everybody getting comfy here, while this is loading up, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking a moment of your precious time to be here with this precious family. If you've been here at this channel for a while and you've stuck it out to the spiritual report at the end, you will see how precious this family truly is, and whether you want to be a member of the family or not is up to you. Okay, so welcome everybody. A lot going on right there in front of us, so I'll let that play for a minute. And just again, thank you all for taking a moment of your time, even in replay. Okay, so I know there's a lot going on right now, and not everybody's got the time. Plus, I go on kind of late, so. All right, here we go. Dropping in. July 6th, 2024. Oh, man. Just so much going on here. We already covered last night. This little event at the very beginning was a little bit of the future we got to see last night. So we're going to start off with our opening frame and our little event there. You notice there's a little object pops out here. You see plasma wrapping around the front of it, trailing off behind this little guy. It's not much, but you can see it right there. Okay. Meanwhile, we got our big event over here with this black object comes out, causes a CME. It's taking plasma with it in this last event right in there. Okay. And we covered all these here, so we're going to go over it again real quick. And I think my screen is too dark. There we go. That's what's going on. All right. Now you guys can see. Let there be light. All right. Slide down, catch that opening frame. Maybe catch the opening frame next time, Brian. Here it comes. Ding. All right, so backing up, opening frame 024, July 6, 2024. There we go. Okay, let's start plucking away. You can see our event is already underway right here. You can see this little ball coming out right here. Already got a bunch of plasma attached to it already. So as we continue on out, you can see it's still over here, this dark little patch. It's right here on the instrumentation. Okay, and then as we continue through, now there's a lot of plasma, there's a lot of streaks going on, and it buries a lot of stuff. It's hard to see, but you can kind of make out what's going on in there. There's multiple objects. There's one right here. It's very faint. Oh, sorry about that alert there. There's one down there that's very faint, okay, and we have other ones up here. It was like a cluster of them that when they bounce off the sun's magnetic field, they break apart like a, breaking a rack of pool balls. They all scatter and ricochet in different directions. And then we have the slow motion event going on back here. We could see our object last night with the, with the little satellites accompanying it. Let's find that frame real quick here. Right there. Well, either that one or the very next frame. No, it's the previous one. Bear with me for a second here. It's important we get this visual because it's important that you see what's going on as well. Think going in too much. Our object right in here. Okay, you can see plasma going over the top side of it. All right, so here's our object. It has little satellites with. I think it's a frame or two after that one. Let's try one more frame right there, I think. Here you can see our bigger black object back behind here, little satellites accompanying it, little planetoids, moons, whatever you want to call it, accompanying this object right here. Okay, so as we pan back, and pull on over, and continue on, you can see this long duration, slow motion event. We have objects going in towards the sun, which I think is, coming at the backside or from another angle, approaching the sun, about to bounce off the magnetic field. You get two magnetic fields. They can oppose each other too and repel each other. A lot of these things are approaching the sun, and they're the reverse polarity. They're bouncing off. They don't slam into it, get sucked into it. They come right up to it and bounce off, grab plasma with them as they go. Here's one you can see draped in the plasma. It's dark. They absorb light, so they're dark. All right, they're hard to see. All they leave is their little dark, round shadow left behind. Then we have this event going on right here. In here, you can see another little object, probably in this little indentation or something right behind it, or ghost image, because sometimes we get little shadow images, ghost images. There's a good capture right there. We'll go ahead and get up close and friendly with it. All right, there we go. Round, black, spheroid, planetoid type object interacting with the sun, repelling, being pushed off. The magnetic fields repel each other, and when it gets pushed off, it grabs some plasma and streaks out with it. So, as you can see, there's a nice round spherical object. We are not the only thing that orbits the sun and our planets, okay? You got to get your mind open. If we're here orbiting the sun and there's other planets like Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto and all your, Mars and Venus, if they're all these planets that are orbiting the star, well, there's can be other ones that aren't visible to the naked eye because they absorb light, which means they don't reflect light. Light can't escape from them. Well, that means it can't reflect light. So it makes it almost invisible. It's nature's stealth is density. Okay, so it's super dense. It's dark matter. It absorbs light. It doesn't reflect light. So the only time you can see it is when it interacts with the plasma in the sun. It drapes over the object or around the object, painting it much like a tablecloth would paint a table. If you laid it over a table, it would define the edges and the corners and let you know that there was a structure there, right? Well, here's a structure. The plasma's giving it away, okay? That's how you see these things is when they interact with the sun. Unless they're totally hot and you got an infrared telescope like the Lucifer telescope. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been watching these things for a while. All right, let's proceed. And it moves on out of frame. It's not just a glitch, okay? It's a real object. This is NASA's information. This is their data, okay? Unless they're trying to fool us that there's something going on out there, why would they hide it? And the things that they're trying to hide, they put little blocks over stuff to hide stuff, right? We see them doing that. Now let me start this up again. So when we see, activity like this, it's because there's other stuff going on. All right. And then tonight's spiritual report, we're going to get into that. I need to get through this stuff. I don't even want to do the solar report tonight. I want to do a whole spiritual show. But breaking news, we got to cover real quick. This right here. Now let's move on. Let's get over to the solar ham real quick. Because we got time is precious and we're kind of wasting it with all these solar reports and stuff here a little bit. Meanwhile, solar flux is down 166, all right, not up or down, it's still even. We're at 111 sunspots, down 2 of them, and we're all good in the area. Our sunspot grouping all over here on the side, but we have new stuff coming in. There's 3 lined up in a row. They're the old sunspots that rotated around from before, or that went across last time, survived the backside, and they're coming around again. Okay, we'll cover that stuff a little more in detail tomorrow. Right now, I'm just kind of banging this out real quick. Here's your GOES X-ray flux that we looked at right there. Okay, that was your activity for today. It doesn't really transpond equally to what we saw because this detector is in between us and the sun. Some of that activity is off to the side. Meanwhile, we had some new activity right here. Let's see if there's any data, because last time I checked, it wasn't available yet. Oh, we got 25 frames of data here. And nothing to look at. All right, good. Quiet there, that's good. Moving back. All right, so there we go. X flare potential 5%, M flare potential 40%. As these new sunspots rotate into region, into the Earth-facing side of the sun, we'll start to see maybe this incline. We'll see how they perform, how they progress. If they get developed or not. Meanwhile, 3-day geomagnetic forecast still all clear. Remember, we were talking about the 7th here. Don't be surprised if we get glancing blow or unforeseen geomagnetic storm on the 7th due to the CME and the object that it induced. Said CME wasn't like shown coming our direction, but the object can still be coming, and with its radiation that it's absorbed, it will induce a geomagnetic storm. Okay, that's why we're seeing these unforeseen geomagnetic storms, is because the CME from the event goes one direction while the object is still on a trajectory coming at us. The CME splashes off the side as it passes the sun, but the trajectory of the object can still be a different course, not exactly following the CME. Okay, and that's why it can catch him off guard. And when we have unforeseen geomagnetic storms that are surprising people, they should not surprise anybody here at this channel, because of the reason I just explained. All right, there we go. All right, let's bang this out. Really quickly, all of our KP index is really quiet. We're way down below 1 on the KP, so it's really quiet on our auroras. We have these two sunspots that are 38 and 3729. They're both beta gamma. This one declining, but this one right here, 3738, growing. Okay, so we'll have to watch that one in the future coming up. That's old article. The other solar site is old article still. So we're just going to get over here to the Schumann. As you can see, we've come out of some stability right here, had a little bit of weakness, went back to stability, and had a grinding event. Let me make sure that's totally updated. Yeah, I think it is. That's our latest data. So pressure's built. We're starting to grind a little bit here. We came out of it, probably had a little earthquake or volcano activity, went minor, and then starting to grind a little bit again here. Okay, also making your animals act weird and stuff too. Indication that pressure is built up down below. Okay, get on over to the pressure real quick here. All right, here's your SO2 map. Here's America, country divided, bleeding out on one side over here. They still can't get it right. You know, as soon as everybody figures this stuff out, everything can go a lot smoother. I'll explain that in spiritual report. Over here on the side, you can see it's all speckled hit and miss sites. There you go. There's your country divided. Every time. A little flooding in that region, plugging up the holes. But there's your pressure right now. Still about 7 on our little scale that we've kind of created. Activity still going down through Mexico. Jamaica, still big emissions coming out of Jamaica, even though they got sideswiped by a hurricane. Still emissions coming out from this earthquake site that was up here. All right. Meanwhile, going down the South American coast, you can see there's a patch right here where we used to have a bunch of these tight, look, let me get on tight on these. These are all individual sites, these little pixels, right? This area was all filled in with purple pixels. After our big quake, not big, but the latest big quake that we had here, since then, we've seen a reduction in pressure in all these sites right here, and it's still remained. It's really kind of carved out these 4 spots, 5 now, including that one, these fulcrum point emission spots. Okay, that one being right on the fulcrum point, and being the path of least resistance right there. Okay, as we go on down, you can see the coast is still emitting dark purple. That's a lot of SO2 emissions. It's blowing out into the water. That's good. It's relieving pressure in that area, keeping big quakes from happening in that region. Okay, stop off at Hawaii, visit a friend here. All right. On the island of Oahu is where a lot of the emissions are coming out of. The volcano there, we got people that we love in this family that live there. So we're keeping an eye on this little spot for them. And they're still doing good. They're just pressure is emitting SO2 here. It's starting coming out of the other islands now, Maui. And then, of course, here at Hawaii, where a volcano is, it's been plugged up for a while, so it won't erupt. And we're seeing, micro quaking and SO2 emissions in the form of pressure relief in that region. Come on over to China here, back up for their time their daytime. Boom. All right. So here we go. As you can see, they have a lot of pressure. They have a lot of gas going on. You're gonna see a reduction in some of these areas. See these bald areas right here because of all the flooding. That lake, the levee on the lake broke with those trucks going into the hole. Yeah, that was a lake. It's not just a river. It just flooded them. They got hit with the EF4 tornado and their levee broke in the same day. See how important it is to get on the same page? I think maybe they will come around here soon. Anyways, here we go. Here's India with their issues. Okay. All across Europe, all speckled all over the place. Like I always say, there was 4 little tiny dots like this along this Sierra Nevadas a few years back, and everybody had a heart attack. Now the whole world's bleeding out, and we're all yawning, going, "Oh, when's the next plane crash?" You know. All right, here we go. The island of Sumatra filling in. Okay. Also Malaysia filling in with a very intense spot right at the tip and up here too as well. Meanwhile, down here at our purple island of Java, that's where our relief valve is. A lot of pressure coming out of that area. Okay, so we're still at a good 7 there. That's a fair amount of SO2 coming out of there. Okay, so we have a pressure buildup. Well, we saw that on the Schumann. Okay, that's the core and the shell grinding together because of the pressure down below. Okay, let's bang out the really. Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot. We got to do my bad. Okay, sandstorm report 2. I was going to pass this, but he says, nope, do this one. Now, we have this huge plume, very dense plume of sand that's coming off the Sahara Desert. This is quelling our cyclonic genesis, our hurricane genesis, our formation in this region, okay? It hampers the convection. All right. We had that first hurricane come through here and kind of blow some of the sand out of the way, and it was able to breathe and suck in some air that wasn't all sand laced with sand, so it was able to produce. But the second storm got cut off, the third storm got cut off, the fourth storm. So our conveyor belt is being quenched by the sand. It's working. For some reason, somehow, by the grace of God, it's working. All right. Meantime, what we need to do here is kind of, as we come on in, you can see our hurricane taking up the whole Gulf. Okay, we're going to go over to the hot water anomaly and put on the winds, and then we'll track that a little bit better. But there's your setup right there. Huge. This sandstorm's going across the Mediterranean, about to punch Italy right in the boot. See that? That's not going to be good for them. Everybody in Italy, prepare for a big old sandstorm. Watch, you'll see in the headlines in the next couple of days. Oh, Italy got hit by a sandstorm. Meanwhile, over here at Saudi Arabia, they got their hands full too. A lot of this is blowing across. Now we'll put the wind back on, I guess. I'm sorry. I'm just so trying to bang through this so we can get to a spiritual point. Picking up sand off of Sahara or off of the Saudi Arabia, throwing it across the Indian Ocean right at India. You see this plume here at India. They're just as if they don't have SO2 emissions bad enough. They also got sandstorms. This one up here at the Gobi Desert's kind of getting smaller, but it's still there. Okay. All right. So there's that. Now we can come over to the ocean and do the water effects with the wind, and we want now. Okay, here we go. So here's our our emission site where we have a lot of magma, nickel, even cesium coming up from that's down from the core. You know, that's material that comes down from very deep. So there's a channel that's been breached down to the deep stuff, okay? And it's making this huge plume. There's like when you have a fissure, you saw the fountains that are jumping off of Iceland, right? Imagine a fissure opening up like that on the ocean floor, much more like a round portal that's just shooting out magma like a fighter jet in Afterburner, like an engine from a fighter jet shooting out nickel and magma at super fast velocities and stuff. So this is creating a huge heat patch out there. The heat's causing vorticity. Hot water rises, cold air rushes in, or cold water rushes in to replace it. It causes vortexes like this. The vortex, the heat signature is so strong that it's causing vortexes in the air as well. Hot air rises, cold air comes in to replace it. So you're seeing hot air rising here, cold air coming off. Instead of hot, convective storms like like the hurricane material, your hurricane mixing bowl right here, instead of it coming off hot stuff, it's actually throwing cold air in the mix. See, there's cold water right there, so it's creating this vortex. Okay, this is the conveyor belt that the storms will be riding. If we have a break in a sandstorm, you'll see a storm fire up and ride this conveyor belt. Boom. Now, if it's top side, it'll go up and cut up through here, get caught on the inside loop of the conveyor belt. Otherwise, it'll come down through the bottom part of the conveyor belt, take the path this storm took. This was the first one to kick that storm door open. And let me just tell you something. The way this was setting up, we were looking to get back to back to back to back to back to back hurricanes. Just keep pumping another one and another one until they're all evenly spread all the way around the conveyor belt. You have 8 different hurricanes going, because once they come up here, they don't lose energy. They gain energy in the North Atlantic, not down here. Your hurricane genesis isn't going to happen down here coming at America. It's going to happen up here, and it's going to go without sand, and it's going to be hitting this region. Europe, England, Ireland, Europe, France, Spain, even the northern parts of Africa there. All right, and that heat plume right there is causing this circulation. All right, we've talked about this several times now. There's your conveyor belt effect. You want to know where your hurricane's going? Watch the conveyor belt. Okay, when this moisture comes up and it collides with this cold air coming down, we're going to check this cold air highway too. I want you to see something here. All right, our heat signature out here has caused a vortex here. See, cold water, hot water, or cold and hot vortex. All right, it's causing weather to go this way now. Before, we had a vortex going this way and weather was coming down the coast. Now we've seen this flow. It's still there. It's still southern coastal right here, but now we're going to start to see this take over. And this is drawing in cold water from up here. This new arm, this blue arm, has reached down and matched up with this. And it's kind of quelling the surface temperatures in there. It's good. Now it's caused a split vortex. We had a huge conveyor belt riding this big yellow bar. Now that conveyor belt's kind of destroyed because the bar is all speckled and spotted, right? There's a spot here, a spot there, a spot there, a spot here. So it's not all even. We lost the conveyor belt effect. Now we have a split vortex effect right there. You can see bottoms like conveyor belt type going in, wrapping around. Okay. Well, now we have a hot spot that's growing out here. We got a plume, a vent on the ocean floor right here now, a new spot that's growing. So we had this hot spot up here north of Japan. Now they got one down here south of Japan. And you see the vortex rotating around it? This could be a permanent feature creating storms in this region. That would just sit there and keep pumping over and over. This hot water right here, see this wind comes across it, it's throwing storms at the northern part of Japan right there. Okay, we have our fulcrum point here. Let me take the wind down. We have our fulcrum point here, our relief valve here at Taiwan, all right? You can see all the yellow inundation around this region. It needs to have a big-time quake there and relieve pressure in the area. We haven't seen a quake in that area in a while, so when we do see one, it'll probably be a healthy magnitude quake because of all this. This is heat, which transfers into the pressure down below, okay? Their action-reaction, okay? The thermal heat on the ocean floor causes heat plumes, and they rise to the top. We need a good quake in that region here pretty soon, or else they're going to see a devastating quake, or even a volcanic eruption maybe off of the island. Never know. Okay, this area filling in yellow. Got this area getting nice and red hot. Down here at Java, our relief valve, we had cold water inundation in there, but it's all gone now because it's summertime. Meanwhile, off the coast of Sumatra, you see these hot spots growing. Look at the size of this thing growing now. Where did that come from? Do you see what I see? Poof. bunch of little vents all down through here. In fact, what we like to do every once in a while is put on currents. Hot water rising, cold water coming in to replace it. It makes individual patches. So it's not like this hot water is being transferred over to here that's carrying on down to here. These are all individual emission sites. And the hot water switches from cold to hot, to cold to hot, or cold or hot, or cold or hot, or cold or hot or cold. Either hot or cold, or I'll spit you out. Okay, middle of winter right here, the coldest water in the world between the point of the tip of South Africa and Antarctica. Probably so hot you can't go in the water right now. It'll burn you. There's reports of that happening now. Okay, so here's your two hot spots. One on this side, which is let me go back to the wind, to the air currents. You turkey. Get back to the ocean. The answer to the wind down there. There we go. Okay, you can see our conveyor belt effects going on, and they've changed. This water in here, thankfully, it's not all yellow hot like this, because if it was all yellow hot in that region, they'd be in big trouble. Meanwhile, this over-the-top jet here, that's what we kind of came to see. Instead of storms coming in and hitting the West Coast and going across the country, this vortex has just diverted everything, right? So now cold air comes over the top, Bering Strait from Alaska and Siberia here, over the top and then down into the country. So this setup, this cold air dropping down with this hurricane moist warm air colliding right there, cold, hot, severe weather. Okay, there's your bullseye. Everybody in that region, take cover. Everybody on the coast, take cover too. All right, and then we could see an eruption out of something and cause a tsunami because of all this volcanic activity underwater. All right, all it takes is one landslide. We got an ice shelf that's about to break off any moment too. So it'd be wise to kind of back away from the coast. But people won't understand why. They'll be like, oh yeah, whatever. So there's that report. We got to keep moving. Earthquake report. Let's bang this out. All right, let's get on over here to our deep quakes. Boom. Sorry, I'm running through this really fast tonight. For those of you who like the scientific report, sorry, I'm trying to do more of a spiritual report tonight. Just got to get this out of the way. Okay, no deep quake. Usually 5 at the surface, but we got 4.2 down at 156 on land, though. Nothing at the entrance. We have this island relieving pressure as it enters. Up here, we have this 4.8 down at 191. 4.7 at the surface right there, some energy being released right there. Right off of Java here, a 4.4. Okay, you can see that this is like a shelf, the edge of a shelf right here. And if we get a quake right on the edge, right on the corner, it could cause a landslide that goes underwater. So every once in a while, when we see a quake right along a shelf line, I got to check because we don't want to see a big one. Here, let's see. Back out of this. Let me give them an example here. Where's a good shelf? Well, we'll just use this one for example. All right. It's like a plateau. It's all flat like a table. All here, this island. It's really shallow in this area. And then it drops off. It drops way down like a big, huge wall all the way down to the bottom of the ocean where the trench is down here. Okay. So what you're looking at is a big wall right here. And that's the very top in the corner, the edge. And like I said, anything breaks away from that edge, we get an earthquake real shallow right on the corner. It could cause an underwater landslide, and that would cause a tsunami. So that's relieving energy in the region. The volcanic activity, we saw it was all purple. A lot of SO2 emissions and stuff is not enough. We're also having earthquake activity in the region. Okay, going up through here, nothing, very quiet, no fulcrum points, no pressure wave quakes here. Coming over to this fulcrum point, we got a couple of deeper ones because they're a little thicker here. 4.7 at 102 and 4.3 at 194. Over here in Greece, 4.9. You know what we do with 4.9s here, right? So there's a 5 at the surface right there at Greece, okay, relieving energy in the area. It's good, but probably not going to be enough. We need more activity because activity relieves pressure. Up here on the above Iceland on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge is a 4.4 at the surface, relieving pressure in that region. Okay, bing, 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 bing. All right, let's go up this coast now. Up this system. 4.9, what do we do with those? Down at 56.2. Another 5, down at 77.1. Here we are. Here's our fulcrum point right here, where a lot of energy gets released right here at Taiwan. But look, we have a quake just south of it. And it's a 5.5 at 16, huh? Let's just take a peek. We got 2 islands here. This is a volcano, of course. It's grown up through the, punctured the surface of the water. Same with this. If we kind of back out, like a little fulcrum point in between the bases of these 2 volcanoes right here. So a little region to watch right here because that's a new spot, path of the least resistance, and it's just south of our fulcrum point. So if this is locked up and we're not seeing quakes and we're seeing pressure build up, this might become our new spot. Remember, we saw yellow growing in this region too, so we could continue to see, or we could see quake activity continue in that region here in the future. You have to forgive me. I got tinges of pain. Take my breath away sometimes. Okay, 4.8 down at 62 there. Let's come on over to here. Do we cover the rest of the world? Cocos Plate real quick. It's a 4.1 at the surface. Is that on the shelf? See this big shelf right here in this edge? But we don't have to worry about right there. Relieving a little energy in the area. Okay, let's do Hawaii real quick before we get all in there. This site just now going active. See, there's no quakes in the area, but there's 3 red ones right here that just now started. 4.1. Ooh, really? 3.3 and a 2.6. This is a new little area, and this is a bigger magnitude right here. We haven't seen a 4 here in a while. My pain's from, I have a shattered hip and my sciatic nerves pinched in my hip socket. So every left foot I plant lights me up from head to toe. Real fun stuff. Meanwhile, I'm not going to talk about it. 4.1 though, that is a magnitude that is waking people up here in this area. They're going to get concerned that there might be an eruption or something, but that's energy being released. Notice there's no other microquaking in here at all. It's just this new recent activity right there. So we're going to see a little swarm or something starting to happen right there, just as we start reporting. Meanwhile, off the coast of Hawaii, a little 2.8 down here at 15. Something going on here under the hub. Okay, the Pacific Rim, like a bicycle rim, has the middle, the hub. So Hawaii would be the hub of the Pacific Rim. Okay, now let's get into America. All magnitude, please, and dropping in a little faster. 4.1 down to 112. We're seeing earthquake activity at some of these volcanic islands, just off of them too, at the foot of these mountains here. 2.6 there, 3.6 there. That's a little squibble of energy there. Come on now. Current activity right now going on. This one right here, 2.7 and 1.5. What's this one? 2.0. So 2.7 and 2.0 energy on the inside right here, the inside of the fulcrum. Just the other side that made it over 3.0 or 3.1 energy is making it over. And then when we get to Juan de Fuca, it jumps to 4.2. So we saw a lot of activity at this spot in the last week, right? And here's another 4.2 down at 10. This spot's weak right now because it's letting a bunch of energy release right there. So as we get energy comes over the hump here, boom, it's getting released right here. This is doing a lot of good actually because it's relieving energy in this area and keeping it from building and becoming an outrageous 8.9 or 9.5. It could be really bad. There's a 2.3 right there, relieving energy. Anything? Nope, nothing along these volcanoes. Little mouse fart up here in Idaho. Okay, energy comes down, fulcrum point. Sometimes when the fulcrum point's locked up, it will drive inland, and you can see our angle. Our angle of pressure comes in like this. Now, pressure doesn't like to turn direction like this. All right, you see how the plate boundary turns? Well, it wants to keep driving straight and go inland. So we're seeing inland activity just off of this straight line. And it's relieving energy. It's doing its job, a little micro quaking here and there. Also, the geysers here relieving pressure. That's good. Okay. Then as we come on down, nothing in the bay area. Well, just a little bit south of the bay here. 1.7s. Good. What's that? 2.7. 2.4. Oh, yep. I see it. Not going to say anything. Let's move on. We're trying to get to the spiritual part. Okay, good. A little bit of activity right there. Relieving pressure, little current activity here in Southern Cal, relieving pressure, microquake activity. That's good. Here, again, this little spot. Okay, take you in just a little bit closer. See this little mountain range right here? At the foot of it is at the foothill is this, not a scar, but it's a fault. It's a crack. It's a fissure. It's an old fault right here that pushed up this little mountain range right there. And just off of it is this 3.0 here in Colorado. So this little spot sometimes kicks up every once in a while when we get activity and pressure in the regions. That's a path of least resistance, spot to watch when pressure builds. Oklahoma activity, we all understand going there. All good and quiet there. Okay, good. What's going on right there? Falls City. Okay. 4.32. Okay. That's good enough. We might skip the volcano report tonight. Let's do show you the weather just the first couple of days, and then we can get to our spiritual report. We can take down a lot of this stuff now. That goes. There we go. All right, while that's loading up. Taking a sec here. Meanwhile, tonight in the spiritual report, we're going to cover a lot of stuff, and it's going to be disturbing. So we're just going to try to do the best you can, plow through it, okay? Go spinny, spinny. It's thinking, what model should I make tonight? AI's like generating stuff right now as we think. No, I'm joking. Yipe, did you see that at the end? Okay, current conditions. Let me just pull up a little bit more. All right, so the nighttime of the 6th, current conditions right now as this starts to approach the shoreline. As we go, there's the morning of the 7th. That's when we're going to see our first little outer bands making landfall on the coast. Morning of the 7th, we also have severe weather. Where's my pointer? Severe weather right there, okay? We have that cold air coming down. This is moist air coming up. Out in front of this is a little band of moist air that's been pushed out in front. It's moist air colliding with that cold air that's out in front of this. Now watch. These things are, the last couple models, these two air masses collided. That's the morning of the 7th. Landfall, noontime. Oh, thank you, Lord, for testing me so hard today. I know, it's just going to be like that. All right, back to where we were. Noontime the 7th, okay? Morning of the 7th, noon, starts to creep inland here. Severe weather up here. Convection, they both get severe. Okay, this one will increase in intensity a little bit around convection. That's a 988 millibar low, so possibly category 1. 982, yeah, it'll be a category 1 right there. Also, this intensifying at the nighttime of the 7th. So all day the 7th, tomorrow, Sunday, we're going to be seeing this striking the coast of Texas, and sneaking up behind is this storm too. So don't let your focus on this distract you from what's sneaking up behind too. That'll be the nighttime of the 7th, morning of the 8th. See how that all kind of came together there? And this intensifies the morning of the 8th. There's noontime, convection, nighttime, and the morning of the 9th. Noon the 9th, convection, nighttime, morning of the 10th. Everybody up in Chicago in this area, you guys better, you got a couple of days warning here, a few days. Everybody in that stripe right there. You see this stripe right here? I'd get out of there or prepare for, prepare for a storm. Okay, that'll be the nighttime of the 9th. Let's go morning of the 9th again. So we have morning severe weather, already severe in the morning of the 9th, noontime the 9th, convection the 9th, nighttime the 9th. Morning of the 10th, noon, convection, nighttime the 10th right in there, watch out. The 11th, and that's about all we're going to cover because everything after that is all subject to change. So everybody remember this little path right here and the 3 days it's going to take from the 7th to the 10th right there. Okay, you have time in that zone to evacuate, prepare, board up everything, water diversion, water collection, all kinds of different tactics. All right, there we go. There's a quick little weather, physical, solar physics, astrophysics, geophysics. We skipped the volcano report tonight. Now, let's get into tonight's spiritual report. Pull up this first because we got a lot to cover now. All right, there's our image right there that's on the thumbnail. This is Easter of 2020. when I captured this image, an hour-long event. Try and get rid of some of these little tabs I got open so I can open up some other stuff for our spiritual report tonight. So, when you're looking at this image and you're like amazed, what? How's this possible? What are we looking at? And now the computer goes, Lord, please have a little cooperation with the computer. Okay. So when we're looking at that, images like that, how'd you get that? How did it get, to that point or whatever? I need to kind of do a lot of explaining, because it's the explaining that kind of helps you understand and then also reassures you too. Okay. That's why I do this, is to kind of reassure you as well. All right. If we could just get some of these instruments pulled down here. That one and this one and this one, and then we can start opening stuff. Okay, so this is a real event, and I'm going to explain how I captured this and how this has all happened. All right, so we're going to come over to my channel here, and we're going to do a brief little history, a dot to dot, to kind of help explain everything, put everything in perspective so you understand, because a lot of stuff in the Bible has been, misinterpreted, new terminology, stuff that's not in the Bible. Okay, so everybody's got some really wrong messaging, and we're here to kind of clear that up for you here a little bit. Okay, so when before all of this started happening to me, I'm a regular dude. Okay, got my family, and we've had separation because of logistics. My wife works in Sacramento, I work in Nevada. It didn't work, so we're a split family. We finally reunited, and after a lot of work and stuff, we finally reunited and was going about my life. And then all of a sudden, on September 10th, my life took a violent change. Not violent as in, hurting somebody, but the change was just so drastic, so gnarly, upside down, backward, forward, and most importantly, inside out. My life turned inside out because of this event right here. Okay, this event happened on September 10th of 2017. That's 13 days before the Revelation 12 star alignment. Okay, and let's just get to kind of the meat of the story right here. Okay, bingo. Oh, we need volume. Okay, so you see down below here, September 10, 2017, NASA's coronagraph from Stereo A. Okay, what I'm going to show you is, here, let's just get into it. Where's my volume? Here's our object right here. Looks like Nibiru. It's got a wing coming off on this side and a wing coming off on that side. All right. So I was never a Nibiru guy. All right. I had been, I've had UFO activity since I was a young kid. Okay. So I knew that UFOs existed because of experience. All right. When you see something with your own eyes, and that's clearly what it is, But I was never a big Nibiru guy. I seen some people getting some lens flares and going, "Hey, I captured Nibiru," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, that's a lens flare." It was discrediting that community as well. But then God intervened and showed me this, and He made me stare at this for hours until I finally saw what was going on in here. It wasn't easy to see this. All right. And these objects are black. They're round. All right. They take plasma drapes around them, painting the edges and the contour of it. Okay. there's material that's being pulled off of this back to a bigger object. That material ionizes and lights up, giving these lit up wing effect. Do you see that? There's one on this side curling back that way. It's just kind of hard to see because it blends in with this light draping in. But if we can just kind of block out that light right there, you can see the other little wing pointing back. All right, and that's Nibiru, the fabled winged planet. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? It's real? Yep, and there it is. Now, in the Revelation 12, it talks about this prophecy, the woman draped in the sun with the moon at her feet and a crown of 12 stars. That was the Revelation 12 star alignment that happened 13 days after this. September 23rd of 2017 was the Revelation 12 star alignment. It actually took place. Another 2,000-year-old prophecy come true. This is a 2,000-year-old prophecy come true too, because in the Revelation it says, then a dragon stood in front of the woman ready to devour the child. Well, the dragon is standing in front, 13 days in front of the woman. Everybody thought the dragon was going to appear after the Revelation 12 star alignment, because it says then another sign appeared. So it makes it sound like the dragon appeared afterwards. But when you read it, it says the dragon stood before the woman, in front of the woman, 13 days before the Revelation 12. There's your dragon. God showed me this because everybody saw the woman and nobody saw the dragon. Everybody missed the dragon. And there were all these guys at that time going, oh, we should be seeing Nibiru. We should be seeing this winged planet or blah, 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 right? At that time frame. Well, it did. It happened. It appeared. It got captured on stereo A. And most people can't see it because they're looking at the CME. All right. Everybody's used to looking at the light and the big CME that came out, right? Nobody's looking for a dark patch. Well, that's why it was so hard for me to see, because it's like inverted. It's like in negative. It's absorbing light. It doesn't reflect light. Okay. Then just behind that object.
And that's not all, because behind that is this big object right here. This is what's causing our flares. Here's a conduit of plasma that is sucking off of our sun, going into this planet. Here's a damage ring or an impact zone on this planet right here. You can see Nibiru sticking out in front of it here.
Nibiru and Nemesis. Okay, the dragon of Revelation 12 showed up 13 days before the star alignment. Okay, when I saw this image, I already know astrophysics, and when I saw this image right here, let's just say it's enough to give you a heart attack. When you realize what you're looking at there, any physicist sees this will probably have a heart attack and drop dead because they know what they're looking at. All right, now it took a long time for me to finally see this image as well, okay? But this is where we're starting. This is the day my life changed. I went from a normal dude, and then God shows me this, and I'm like, why are you showing me this? You know, I was, just happy doing my prayers and, working on, reuniting my family. That was, we finally had some success. Why are you throwing this at me? Well, I want you to warn everybody. And I'm like, how am I going to do that? Well, at the time, I was doing just little amateur YouTube videos, recording little lizards in my yard and doing car show reports. I'd see a couple cool cars at a car show and I'd post a video of a Corvette or something like that, So back in those days, it was like training. I was learning how to become a YouTuber and just fiddling around with, basic stuff. But then after this happens, he says, warn everybody. And I'm like, how am I going to warn everybody of this? No one's going to believe me. They won't see it. They, especially when I tell them God showed me this. Oh, yeah, right. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. You're looking at it, okay? So at this point, I realized, okay, I gotta make a video and put it on YouTube, I guess. That's why my channel had started and I got a little, a little foothold. So I tried to go to the media with this information. No, no acknowledgement whatsoever, right? So I knew I couldn't go to the media with this. I tried to go to, this is like supernatural stuff that's happening. So it occurred to me, maybe Coast to Coast. If any of you know Coast to Coast AM radio with George Norrie or Art Bell from back in the day, they deal with the paranormal. So I'm like, well, there's an avenue I could try. And I tried dealing with Coast to Coast, but they didn't take it seriously either. So I had to just go independent on my own on my channel. And that's where this channel is now. Okay. So all started with this right here. Okay. This is the day all of your lives changed. Okay. This is the day not only my life, but all of your lives changed. September 10th, 2017, the dragon showed up right before the woman ready to devour the child once it's born. There's Nemesis and your other stellar core that orbits it, its satellite, okay? Now, this is back at a 45-degree angle like this, so it's not side by side giving us an even proportional dimensions, okay? It's about 10 times bigger than our sun. Okay, it eats stars is what it does. It sucks. It destroys stars. That's an old star right there. That's the core of an old star is Nibiru, and the wings that are coming off are ionized plasma or whatever that's still being sucked back to this bigger black hole. This is like a black hole. Okay. All right, and that's why God showed it to me. There's your dragon right there, Revelation 12. Okay. Image that can, really scar you if you're not spiritually grounded. Okay. Now, let's move on. I was scarred after this. I finally figured out how to do the video. I mean, I risked everything. My whole reputation went out the window. I lost my wife. I lost my family. I went to jail, institutions, all kinds of great stuff, all because of this right here. So not only did it turn my life inside out, but upside down. Okay, I went through all kinds of different mental institutions. Everybody, oh, you're crazy, you're seeing angels. And I'm like, yeah, I really am. Here, you want to see one? Then, as it evolves, we get to this point. So I finally do the video. Is it pretty good? The night before I did the video, this happens. Okay, and this is wait, let me pull back because I want you guys to see these dates. It's important up here. October 4th of 2017. This is 11 days after the Revelation 12 star alignment, okay? She was pregnant with child and about to give birth. And then she gave birth to a male child, a son, who will rule all the nations with the iron scepter. All right, so this event took place with our same display right here. And this was actually captured the day before the other picture, but I hadn't found it for years later until I was digging around through my, my old pictures and stuff and went even further back to see if I'd missed anything. And I captured this one. And we're going to zoom into this streak right up here, this one right here. Ooh. Just bear with me for a second. Actually, let's go back just a tad bit. Second here. Here you can see the baby's head pretty well right here. Okay, she's got her arms cupped around it here. I'm going to go ahead and play the video, but bear with me for a second here. That one frame, you can see it pretty well. You can see that we have a lady's profile here. Here's her eye, here's her forehead, her snub little nose.
Here's the bottom jaw. She's smiling. She's looking down and she's holding a baby. And here's the baby's head right here. Here's the face, the back of the head. Here's her arm cupped around like this. And she's holding the baby.
And she's in a shaft of
run
light.
this through the filter real quick, and it's going to enhance it, but a little bit too much. But see, now you can really make out her profile a lot better and see her face, and her headdress is coming over and going down back behind her. And you can still make out the baby's head right here. And maybe if I pull back a little bit, there we go. And this.
Okay, there we go. Now you can kind of see it a little bit better without the wavy lines here. All right, your Revelation 12 baby being born in my garage, my lower garage, which would be kind of like the manger if it were like, you know, back in the old days or whatever. Trying to get these wavy lines out of there. Maybe it's this. Okay, and this is security camera footage that's admissible as evidence in a court of law. Okay, this isn't. Why can't I just get without the wavy lines, Lord? Come on. This is actual real footage. Okay, that's what you need to take comfort in as well. What you're looking at is a spiritual being being born, a new spirit. Okay, it's not an. Ooh. Whew. Okay. There you go. Now I know this face looks weird, and it is what it is. Okay. And when we get into describing some stuff later on, this will make a little more sense right here. Okay. So there's your spiritual entity being born in my garage, the Revelation 12 baby being born in my garage. And this is the night I put everything together for the video. And then I did the video, and the next night, something happened this night right here. Something weird happened to me. Okay, felt like being possessed or something. All right, this little baby kind of entered me or whatever. All right, so there's this happening, and then the very next night, I put the video all together, but I'm still not sure how to say it, what I'm going to say and everything. I finally get the video all put together. I get the whole thing up. My first time really kind of uploading a serious video, all the delays, the computer hangups, the headaches, all the spiritual attacks that happened trying to get that first video produced was so hard. All right. Plus the truth that I was trying to put out there was so hard. Finally, I get it produced, and here I am I'm crying, screaming, and praying all at the same time. And I just was so overwhelmed. I ran down to this little lower garage because it's where I get to privacy away from everybody. It's, you know, cool and dark, and I can just go in here and get on my knees and pray, right? So I'm a mess. I'm in anguish, all right? I come down here, I'm in anguish, I'm crying, screaming, and praying all at the same time, and I didn't know this was going on, okay? My security camera captured this. This is the very next night. This is October 5th. Okay, October 5th, and then we're going to play this. What's going on here is I'm here on my knees. I'm crying and screaming and praying, all three at once. I was in some extreme anguish. A paranormal traumatic event happened to me, something so unbelievable you guys wouldn't believe it. So if I told you, so I'm going to show you instead. So in this image here, I'm sitting here praying, and Mary's head appears right next to my head, and we're going to zoom in on this. Meantime, you see this in the background? This is a three-dimensional display of the sun and Nemesis with this little tube. There's the conduit. I was trying to take pictures of this and send a three-dimensional display of what I'd seen because most people couldn't see it. I'm like, no, it's the sun right here, and the bigger object's back behind it, and there's a little tube in between it. You know, I was trying to give a three-dimensional display, and then it was still sitting there in the garage when I came out here to pray. But anyways, that's what this is in the background, by the way.
You can't go in too tight on it, but she's looking down at my head this way.
It's Mary's face.
See, there's pretty good. And you can make out her eye and her nose coming down, her shawl coming over, and it's in shadow right here. This is a shadow of the inside of her shawl going over her head like this. Here's her eye, her nose, her other eye would be on the other side there. Okay. You can't go in too tight on it. And then also is this white ball with an eye in it, this white orb with an eye in it. Okay, and that's not all, because over here in this corner up here is an angel. The silhouette of an angel with his wings spread, with his back to us, standing in a shaft of light. Here's his head. There's a glow over the head. The wings are extended, and there's a feather coming off. The last feather coming off is crossing over these brown roof tiles in the background here.
Okay, can you guys see that angel right there? It's not like crystal clear, like a human form standing there that would be like you would expect in Hollywood, right? But in the electromagnetic spectrum, the electromagnetic imprint on this picture, on this security camera footage, this is not this is before CGI and all that other stuff, okay? This is a real image and a real angel right there, okay? So now I'm telling people I got real angels. I have captured real angels. But all they hear is, oh, you're seeing angels. No, I didn't say I'm seeing them. I'm saying I've captured, I got them. I've captured them. Yeah, right. Lock him up. Lock him up. And I'm like, dude, you guys, if you would just give 5 minutes and look. Oh, sure, we can't play into your delusion, Brian. It's not a delusion. It's physically happening to me. Yeah, right, sure. So I've been on this this extreme like denial from other people attack as well while going through this process, because it's truly happening to me and nobody believes me, and yet I'm still going through it. Okay, so we're at that phase now. Okay, and what you're looking at here, this whole picture is an anointing ceremony.
You can make out there's an angel right here.
God showed me the dragon that everybody missed. He said, warn them about the dragon. So I warned everybody about the dragon, a job that nobody else would do. Right? Nobody would, go out there with that kind of, and put their life on the line and their reputation on the line and risk everything, right? So this is the anointing for doing the warning. I was told to warn them, so I did. And then this anointing happened. And it happened while I was in a state of...
His head right here.
I can't even tell you the state that was going on.
Going a little bit tighter. So there's the angel with his back to us and his wings spread. Yeah, you can see a lot better with the filter. Before it was really faint and it was hard to see. Same with this. This came out a little bit better here. Yeah, there's Mary looking down at my head because I was in anguish. I mean, what happened to me was just so disturbing. I can't even...
Well, I just described to you what happened to me, okay? Now, for you, it might not seem such a big deal. You'd be like, oh, I'd be happy to just do the video and I'd be like, why are you crying? What do you... No, oh, it's way worse than you think. It's not even... It's way deeper and more intense than just these images that you're looking at, too, okay? The feelings that rush through you. So... this was the first image that I had kind of noticed on my security camera. And I'm like, whoa, what happened here? And I didn't get what was going on at this time, right? I reported on the Dragon. I thought my job was done, right? So I didn't know that this had happened until a couple of days later. Went back through the security camera to see if there were any animals came in, any kids broke in, whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, there's that night when I was praying, and I looked at the image. I'm like, wait a second. Oh my God, this happened when that I was praying that night. No way. So this was the first little evidence that I received, was this picture right here. It's only one frame out of all the frames on the security camera that night. It's just the one frame, but it captured everything. It was that one moment in time right there. Okay. And that's that's an anointing ceremony. Okay. October 5th, 2017, 12 days after the Revelation 12 sign. Okay. Then all kinds of weird attacks, stuff happening to me, and I'm like, how am I going to tell people this stuff is happening to me? So I decided to just document everything as we go, right? And this stuff starts happening, I start documenting, and then I get a little cooperation from Coast to Coast, and they have some experts on their show that are dissecting some of these images that I'm sending them. I'm doing, I'm taking the camera and I aim it this way, and I'll do some prayers and we'll see if we capture anything. Well, I'm sending the results into them, and they're experts on their show are like, hey, try this. Hey, try that. So meanwhile, while I start working on taking and capturing stuff in this time frame, I'm listening to Coast on the radio in the garage while we're doing this work. Okay. And these, got doctors and scientists going, what? Well, try this. Test the spirits. That's what they said. Test the spirits. I'm like, nah. Yeah, I got to test the spirits. We're just going to keep praying. So there's this event with the baby being born the day before. Okay. And then I didn't know what was going on. I'm still kind of going, whoa. Why am I, why is this happening to me? Why did he show me the dragon and make me report on it and make me feel all sick inside now because I know what's going on? I'm like, oh God, this is not good. So after this happens, then we get activity like this going on.
And you're safe because a whole lot of silver could be coming.
We had this event happen.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So I'm real excited to show you this one.
That's
is
too
an angel that was captured
Let's
on
go
my security
right
cameras. There. And now I've run it through the filter here. So if you turn your head to the right.
Okay, every time I tell people, tilt your head to the right, nobody ever does it. That means your right shoulder. If you know your right from your left, that would be your right shoulder, because most people tilt their head to their left. They don't listen. They don't follow instructions. This angel is laying at a 45-degree angle like this. So when you tilt your head that way, it's a little easier to see. Okay, once you get the perspective and you see the angel and it's laying at this direction, then you can straighten your head out. But in order to see it at first, it helps to tilt your head. So let's proceed.
5 degrees, you can make out the head, the hair, the breasts. It's a female, the torso, the waist, the legs coming down here, a wing coming off here, a wing coming off over here. And we'll zoom in.
Real quick, before we finish dissecting this angel, note this demon in the background right here. See his eyes and his teeth and the scraggly hair right back here? Hiding in the background. There's a kid sleeping on this couch. They're affecting his dreams. The angel's protecting him from this demon. Watch, you'll see. It's a real image. Real security camera.
This one's nice and clear that you can. Okay. And this is an angel that was caught hovering in a shaft of light over this sleeping child.
Okay. See this kid sleeping on the black couch in the garage? We're still in the garage down there, okay? This is a very special place, by the way. Holy ground in this garage. This kid's in here, the playroom for the kids. Sometimes they get exhausted and they fall asleep down there, take a nap, whatever. One of my son's friends was taking a nap on the couch, and the security camera captured this angel hovering over him with that little demon head right there in the background. Okay, that's a real image. That's a real angel. That should bring you some peace, some security, some hope that you know the divine realm is real. You can see this shaft of light, this fuzzy little shaft of light that it's in too, okay?
Here. So zoom in on it again. Just excited that you can see it a lot clearer now, because before it was kind of faint, and now with these filters I'm able to make these images pop a little bit more for you guys so you can see them. I'm sorry about the way I have to do it with the camera and the computer, but I don't have any other option. So
I'm not all that high tech. I've got a secondhand laptop from a thrift store, and I finally got lucky and got a nice phone right now. So anyways, real angel, real activity happening. Hey doc, before you lock me up, you might want to take a look at what I've got, because it's real. It's not a joke. I'm not seeing angels. I'm capturing angels. Okay. Oh, you're seeing angels, huh? So finally, we get one doctor. I go, okay, I'm going to make a deal with you. I will let you talk all about yourself for the 90 minutes, because in my sessions, I don't get to talk. My doctors, like, oh, I did this and I did that. And I've been to Harvard and I got this and I got, oh, session's all about you, I guess. So I said, well, at the last 5 minutes of my session, can I just get like 5 minutes of my time so I can show you some of my stuff? All right. So Dr. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, you're seeing angels. Yeah, me. Harvard this, Harvard that. Okay. Last 5 minutes. Okay. Can you sit down for a second, doc? Because you might want to sit down for this one. Hello, yeah, I'm sitting down. What's up? What do you got there? And I tilt your head to the right a little bit. And then their mouth kind of opens and their jaw drops and their eyes get real big. And I go, what's wrong, doc? Are you seeing angels? I finally was able to start helping these people when they finally realized, what? Whoops. Oh, so you are capturing angels. Yeah, that's what I told you. Oh, I thought you said you were seeing them. I said, no, I never said that. Everybody just hops right onto that. They don't listen. I said, I'm not seeing them. I captured them. If you would go look. 7 years in mental institutions, jail, all kinds of great stuff, because nobody would take 5 minutes to look. You know how much torture I've been through because nobody would look for 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes of your time. I can't even get 5 minutes of people's time to save their soul for eternity. They won't give me 5 minutes of their time to save their soul for eternity. It's amazing. But back to this. Very peaceful, very calm. It's a real angel hovering over a sleeping child. There's like candles that have these paintings.
Angel to you for a moment, so you guys.
Candles that have the paintings of angels hovering over the children, right? Well, he's a young kid, and here's this angel protecting him from this little thing, this demonoid, the demonic realm. Okay, that's a real angel. That should give you a little security. Okay, and each one of these things I'm showing you is like a dot to dot. Okay, we're showing you an invisible picture by connecting dots. Okay, and each one of these dots is a miracle as well. Okay, the Nibiru Nemesis, that's a miracle. It's a revelation that came true. That's a miracle. Okay, so that's a miracle. The baby being born in my garage is a miracle. Mary showing up is a miracle. The angels, God, all those are all miracles. These are all miracles you're looking at. So they need to be they need to be perceived that way in order to see the bigger picture, because these are miracles as well as hints as well as clues. See, God works in multiple dimensions with multiple meanings. So we're going to connect the dots. All right. There's your little angel hanging out right there. Real angel. Sorry she's naked, but that's just what we capture. Okay. Now at this phase here, we've gotten, I got to back out of this here a little bit. Why are we zoomed in too much? So at this phase where the okay, where's that one? That one? No, it was not though. Where'd it go? Where did that one go? Sorry, I gotta try to find this one. Maybe it's in the favorites. That's why. Wrong one. As you can see, I take a lot of pictures. Here we go. Now, so I'm capturing angels, right? And I see the evidence on my camera, and I'm like, aha. So if I position the camera, they'll show up around the couch, right? So I got the camera positioned at the couch. I'm taking images around the couch while praying, and the camera's been set up there, right? So one night my kids get a new toy here, and they go down to the lower garage, and they're having a good old time. They said, we're going to be up all night playing with this toy. And I'm like, okay. So about an hour later, it gets really quiet. And I'm thinking, uh-oh. You know, any parent knows when it gets quiet, something's going on. So I go down there, and they're crashed out on the couch. And I'm thinking, what? I thought you guys were going to stay up all night. And they get up groggy, and they go up, and they go back to the house and go to sleep. And I'm like, well, that was odd. They got this new toy, and they didn't even play with it. They just went to sleep and then went in the house. So it was just kind of odd. All right. And it wasn't until a couple of days later that it occurred to me, oh, wait, the kids were sleeping on the couch. And that's why I'd set the camera up in case the kids would fall asleep on the couch. Maybe we would catch angels again, right? Well, the kids fell asleep on the couch. Maybe I should go check the camera. So I go down there and I check the camera, and I go through each frame, and I don't see anything except for one frame's got this white stripe right here. All right, you see that white stripe right there. But it's when all the frames are stacked together that you see there are two angels here, and they're locked wing and wing. This is a wing coming up, going down. The dark part in the middle, right in here, is the dark part, the inside cup of the wing. There's another wing coming up and going down. There's the dark cup in the middle, and then the head is right about here. Now, if you look straight at it, it's hard to see, but you can see it out of your peripheral better. So if you stare like right about here, you can see there's an angel here, and there's another one over here. They're locked wing and wing. There's two angels right there on their knees bowing. And you see how this picture's twisting and warping? See how the couch is twisting and moving like that? It's not from the camera. It's because these angels are bowing. They're warping the image. The images are changing because they're bowing. Can you see that effect? Pretty crazy, huh? So now I'm capturing angels and angels bowing. And I'm thinking, I know something about angels, and angels don't just bow. They don't just bow to anybody. Why am I capturing angels bowing? Okay. But anyways, this is some of the activity I'm capturing, right? And not only am we capturing angels and stuff like that, but I'm also having poltergeist activity. All right. Here I am set up, getting about to do some picture taking or whatever, and I'm praying right before, and I wasn't really expecting to capture anything at this point. I was just kind of sitting on the couch doing my praying. I didn't really go, position the camera, and this was like a pre-show prayer, And as you can see, this entity lifts up the BMX bike and spits a bolt of energy or a fiery dart on it. Okay, and that's real poltergeist activity. And I'm starting to go, whoa, 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 what's going on here? Okay, I wasn't even trying to capture anything. I'm just doing my prayers before, setting up and capturing stuff like this. Okay, so I'm like, oh, it's actually lifting up my bike, moving it, and spitting fiery darts. And the bike broke the next day. Okay, like trying to kill me. I went to take a jump and the whole thing snapped right there and almost killed me. And I'm like, why'd the bike break like that? Well, a few nights later, I go back through the security footage and find out, oh, that's why the bike broke like that. It almost killed me. Oh. So, crazy activity being captured on my security cameras, all right? Another miracle, another hint, another clue. Okay. Around this time, we start to have other kinds of activity happening. I'm capturing not only we're capturing angels and stuff, but also demons and and Satan too. Okay. So this part's the disturbing part, but it's part of the thing, and it's important that you know that this entity exists, because it's not everybody just going to heaven automatically. There's more going on. So let me play this for you guys. All right, fair warning, this is going to show some demons. If you don't like this stuff, look away or whatever. I don't glorify this. I don't like to give them attention, okay? But this is part of the story. It's part of the process, and it needs to be understood. It's very vital that this part gets understood as well, okay? Understand that. I don't glorify this, but it's true, and it's important that you guys get this.
And running them through the filter and stuff. And not only were we finding angels and Mary and stuff, but there's also demons, and I've also found Satan in this stuff too. So as we're looking here at this picture, what I'm talking about is in this mosaic of blotchy white dots that you see this picture is comprised of. When you zoom in really tight in on a picture, you'll see that it's made up of these splotchy little patches and dots. These new digital cameras make these little blotches. Well, hiding in these blotches are faces. And if you haven't seen it yet, there's an eye right here and an eye right here. And when you make eye contact with these two eyes right here, you'll see the mouth fall into place down here. It's snarling. If you look, it's got some kind of streaks or horns or something, or wrinkles coming out of its head up here. And this is some kind of demon or principality. Other people refer to them as principalities, but this is what I'm talking about. And hopefully you can see this here. This is a pupil right here of an eye. This is a pupil of a bigger eye. Here's the whites of the eye, the white of this eye. These two eyes. Once you look at those, you'll see it falls into place. Maybe I'll pull back a little bit. You can see it a little bit better. No, zoom in. Right about there is good. And you can make out there's teeth here in this mouth. There's a corresponding mouth with these eyes, wrinkles going across the nose here. This is some kind of demon or principality. And it's tucked in the way in the corner of this picture, way back up in here. And you can't even...
Note, see the kid sleeping on the couch? This was one of the frames of the angels bowing. When the angels were here bowing, one of the frames had this demon in the back. Just like that other frame where the angels were protecting the kids, right? These angels are sitting here bowing, but this little demon showed up in the one frame in the back. And this is one of the frames out of the angels bowing, because see the kid sleeping on the couch there?
In a normal picture, but you zoom in, swing it over, zoom in, and you can see this face just appear. And there's more faces in this stuff too, but this one's really really defined and pretty dominant in this picture. So I want to start off with that one. Hopefully you guys can see this one. Okay. So in this sequence here, I've got my camera pointed at the couch now.
All right, we already covered that one.
You'll see a purple streak.
All right.
Okay, in this series here, I'm sitting on the couch again praying, the camera's set up, and you'll see a purple streak, a bolt come in here, right there, boom.
Hang on.
And it hurt. You can see my reaction to it. So we'll let it run again. Here I am sitting here praying. There's all kinds of stuff jumping around in the background, and then zap right there. And that was a real one. I could feel it. And now when I go back, we're going to go back to the top of that bolt and zoom in on the face. Okay, so here's the frame out of that sequence of me getting hit with that bolt. You can see the bolt coming down here. It's got a kind of a purple hue to it or whatever. And then we're going to start zooming in to the face up top here, and it's going to be Satan's face. So you guys ready to see this? If not, you might want to stop the video at this point. But I do not glorify this at all. I do not like to give him attention, but it's important to know.
Right there, you can already see it. Here's a smile right here. An eye is bigger. All-seeing eye is out of proportion. It's bigger than a normal eye. The horn's coming up. Here's the jawline running down. Here's the face right here. Okay. And we're going to continue and zoom in on this. So here we go.
Because he wants everybody to think that he's not real. I think you might be able to see this face without me pointing anything out yet. There we go. Okay, so let me zoom out so I can see.
All right, right there. Let me dim it just a tad bit. Kind of bright. There we go. Now you can kind of see his. Where's my little pointer here? You can see his jawline running down. Here's the bottom of his chin. Here's his evil smile right here. Okay, here's his crazed eye. Right there, the all-seeing eye, right there. You can see an ear coming up over here. Okay. Now we're going to continue. Let me brighten that up just a bit more.
If you look right here at this eye, this is his crazed eye. The other eye on the other side is bigger. It's the all-seeing eye. It's a little out of proportion, but then you can make out the side of his face. His jawline coming down, the bottom of his chin, his face going up here. Here's his mouth with some evil kind of grin on it. You can see his ear coming out over here. You can make out horns coming up. And this is in that mosaic of dots again, but these faces pop out and they're more prominent. You can see that this one really stands out. And that's Satan right there. You can even make out some wings coming up here.
You'll see when we pull back a little bit. Pull back.
And he's mad.
You can see wings coming up and going down right here. See it going right there?
Mad because I'm praying. And he's spitting bolts of energy at me and spitting on my bike and doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Okay. Another miracle, another hint, another clue.
You guys know.
It's a real entity, okay? Another miracle, another hint, another clue. This guy's attacking me because of who I am.
That this entity is real. He's here right now, causing chaos all over the place. I'm sure you guys can see that. And I'm not doing this to scare you. I'm just doing this to inform you guys that this is what I'm capturing. And this stuff is real. And you can see it attacking me.
So not only do I get the police throwing me in jail, getting thrown in insane asylums, I get attacked by this all day long. 4th of July, oh my God. 5th of July, ugh. Here we go. Continue on.
Just another few seconds here on this guy so you can see his face. Make out his ear over here, corresponding horns, eyes, smile, everything. That's Satan right there with his wings.
Okay. Right after that attack, this happened. Where's the albums? No, favorites, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Now these are the original images, not the video. Okay, and after that attack, I was in a lot of pain. Okay, I went to bed. Middle of the night, I feel a presence at the foot of my bed. Okay, the room's totally dark. You can't see anything in the room. The only thing that's illuminating the room is the flash from the camera. So I sit up in bed, I feel a presence at the foot of my bed, and I just start snapping pictures in the darkness. Okay? I'm snapping pictures in the darkness in my room. And, you'll see it illuminate the room really quick, and then it goes dark again. So I take maybe, 10, 15 pictures here in bed, and here's an angel. Its wing coming up, going down right here. The head being in this region right here, right where the black chair is in the background, unfortunately, is where the head is. And then the other wing comes up and goes down here. With this wing, it reaches over to my head and grabs something and flicks it away. It reaches over a second time, grabs something and flicks it away. Then a halo forms over its head. It shoots the halo to me. It bounces off me. He hits it back with his wing. Okay, now it's a series of images. Just watch carefully. The first couple of things, these little white dots are whatever he's pulling off my head, flicking it away. Spiritual afflictions that were attached got removed by this angel after I got attacked by Satan. Okay, see him remove them and flick him away. Then a halo forms over his head. He shoots it to me. It bounces off of me, and he hits it back with his wing. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's a real event. And that halo, I took a closer look at it. It's a crown. I thought it was just a little halo, for protection or something, for being attacked or whatever. I got a halo for protection or something. But upon closer inspection, when I looked at it closer, it's a little crown, which looks like a halo because it's round and circular and hollow in the middle. So what looked like a little halo is actually a little crown there, and that happened the same night. Okay. Where are we going next? So we covered that. Then we get, well, let's just start this right here.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So these faces that I've been showing you in the last few videos that are in the etherical or in that mosaic that I was talking about are not only taking place there, but now they're taking shape in our clouds. And with this new filter, I was able to go through some of these pictures, and it really makes them pop now. So if you can't see it yet, there's an eye here, an eye here, here's the nose, a mouth down below, here's an ear coming back up, the jaw running down, little pointed chin. And this face seems to almost be bisected. One half is like a goblin, and this other half looks like almost like a Wolverine or a Ewok type character. So I'll let you look at that for a minute. And this was pretty faint in the original picture, but now with the filter, it really really makes it pop. So hopefully you guys can see that now. And then I'm going to bring you some more. Just real quick here, I wanted to show you the unfiltered version. This is the original right here compared to this one right here, where you can make out a lot better. Okay, one more, and this one right here, you can make out we have an eye here and an eye right here. Here's the nose, and here's some lips, and it looks like he's blowing. You can make out his ear over here, horns and stuff coming up, his eyebrows. There we go. You can see a little bit better. An eye, the nose, the lips. Okay.
Okay, so that was this event right here. Okay, it started off as a wolf. You can see the eyes, the ear, the nose. It's a wolf right there. And then it turns into the Satan face, okay? So now this activity has moved to the clouds, all right? And now I have these giant faces in the clouds that follow me, watch me, and study me everywhere I go. And it's like, what is going on here? You know, why am I capturing all these faces in the clouds, and why are they watching me, and why are they following me? You know, I go to a different town and their cloud formations all of a sudden change and start doing weird stuff like this. And I'm like, what? Why does this stuff follow me everywhere I go, dude? It gets irritating. It gets, well, a little spooky after a minute, you know? So these are real images. And then also, there was a cat also in this image up at the top, but we don't have time to really get into that. So now the spiritual realm has taken to the clouds, and now I have giant faces that form in the clouds and follow me everywhere I go, okay? So at this point, I'm just going, all right. So I take a lot of pictures, and I get this guy, you know, he's lifting his eyebrows. It looks like the little character out of Star Wars that sits on Jabba's lap or whatever. And then we capture, where'd that one go? With the this one was one of my favorites. This is well, the birth. Here's this alien lady. See her eyes and her mouth right here opening every time the sun. She's giving birth to the sun. Can you see that? All right. And every time, you know, she gets a labor pain, her eyes open, her mouth opens, so she screams, ah, ah. And there's this like Rugrats cartoon character type midwife right here standing there. Breathe, breathe, right? So there's this activity going on that I'm capturing, right? And then here's some of the other faces. The Grinch turning into a dragon, okay? And then we also have UFO activity that I've been telling you, UFOs plagued me my whole life, following me and watching me and studying me and stuff. So we'll just do a quick little UFOs and angels. Okay, so here we go. Let's back this one up just a tad bit.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So,
first off, I'm taking pictures of this face that's forming. You see this eye right here. There's a nose right here. Okay, can you see this lion face right here starting to form in the sky? All right, I see this starting to form. I know what's going on. I see it coming together. This cloud comes over, this cloud comes up, this one pops in, this thing opens up an eye, and then you see the face congeal together, and you're like, oh, better pull out the camera, right? So I'm taking shots of this, and
so many pictures and so much stuff to cover, and I'm way behind on my videos, so let's just get to it. And I'm going to squeeze a bunch of pictures into one video here. So I started seeing this event right here unfold, and I was looking at this spiral cloud and snapping pictures of that, but something else appeared in this picture, and I'm going to pull over to this little object that's hovering over the mountain here.
okay, UFOs are real. All right, I've been plagued with them my whole life. When you see one for yourself, that's when you'll know, okay? Seeing other people's videos, there's always that one little thing of doubt. Oh, it could be fake. It could be this. I think the government has come out now and admitted that the activity is real. It is part of the story. They're the watchers, right? Okay, and that's what they do. They watch, follow, and study my every move. All right, so this video is chock full of different UFOs that I captured. Here's this one. All right, and I got two different images. This is frame number 2, and then a couple minutes before was frame number 1. It's the same craft. Okay, I got all kinds of. I used to have 80 hours worth of footage. It was just so damning that, it got confiscated. Anyways, moving on. I have UFOs that follow, watch, and study my every move. I go into the store and I come out and there's a UFO hanging out over my car. Just waiting for you to get out of the store, no big deal. In fact, let's come on over to Happy Easter. There it is. Please, Lord. Thank you.
Don't throw out your campfire charcoal. Instead, use it to make a DIY life-saving water filter.
Okay. So, as I was saying, UFO activity. I go into this. Really, you guys?
Have you ever noticed how
Hurry up, get your last few dimes of profit in. Okay, back to the story here, okay? I go into the store, UFO activity happens, right? I come out, there's UFOs hanging out of my car. Well, this day, this was the day before Easter, okay? And went to the store, I ran in, my kids were in the car, and my son said, hey, this UFO dropped out of the sky while you were in the store, so I took some pictures of it. So these are pictures my son took, not me, my son.
Howdy, folks. Happy Easter. So what you're looking at here is a picture my son took of this UFO-shaped looking cloud here that to him seemed to be dropping out of the sky. And I ran into the store and this appeared and he said, Dad, this thing looked like it was dropping out of the sky, so I took a picture of it for you. So as I looked at this, I noticed something, and I'm going to start pointing stuff out here. As I zoom in here a little bit, it looks like we have what is a saucer-shaped cloud with this nice little white ring and everything. But back behind it, I see a darker black circle. A stellar core, what looks like a stellar core right here. This
Angel Wings, you're here for another reason.
And causing this cloud to form, this halo-shaped cloud. Here, let's zoom in a little more here. Okay, now I'm talking about.
Okay, you can clearly see it. Okay, on this craft, or in the etherical outside this craft here, just watch.
Eyes. I'm gonna pull it over a little bit. We're gonna zoom in. Here's the mouth, the eyes, the face, the horns of a dragon. I'll pull back a little bit. I'll zoom in. Can you see the dragon?
Went too zoom there. Sorry. Right there's, well, a little bit. Right there's good. Okay, you see the eye there, the eye, the nose. Here's the open mouth with the teeth, the flange that comes off the sides around the face, the horns going up. All right, so there's a dragon right there. Can you see it? Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, probably symbolizing who this race of aliens represents, or what clan they back, or whatever. They're the Watchers, right? So they're represented by the dragon, right? I guess. So this activity happens the day before Easter. I processed the picture overnight and made the video the next day and posted it on Easter. Okay, so even though this is titled Happy Easter, it actually happened the day before, and I posted it the day after on Easter. Okay, so I got this stuff, UFOs activity, follow me everywhere I go, with dragon faces attached to it. Then, not only do we have UFOs, oh, please, Lord. I could have just scrolled down by then. All right, so I got.
Land has tiny little
Okay, we're back. We also have this craft right here that follows me and watches me, and every once in a while I'll capture it. So here's a good capture of it right here. And then when we kind of go back and look, it matches identically this craft here. So we're going to go ahead and play this real quick for you.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back. There wasn't much activity on the sun to report on today, and that's good because I had a revelation last night, and what I'm about to show you is going to knock your socks off.
Okay, we're not going to play the whole video. You can see this craft with a dragon-type face, a snub-nosed dragon. Doesn't have a really long snout. It's a snub-nosed kind of dragon with swept wings. These stabilizers that are kind of angled. They're not totally vertical. This tail, this big fanned out tail, totally vertical tail with these, much like an F-18, their tails are offset. They're not standing straight up and down. They're at an angle. So these two little winglets are at an angle, like a V shape, all right, on this craft. Now we come back over to the picture. Here's the snub-nosed dragon with the eyes. Here's the head. Looks kind of like a grasshopper type face. I was thinking, what is this plane with a creature for a head? You know, I thought it was like an airplane, right? It looks like an airplane. But what's with the head being, you know, instead of a cockpit, it's a head. And then what I thought was a man standing on the plane or whatever right here is actually that little vertical stabilizer coming up. Okay, so this craft is that craft. Do we agree? Okay, now this is a gold trinket made by people here on Earth that represents their visitation that they had with this race, right? This advanced race from the past, from 1,000 years ago, that knew how to fly. Okay, they had flying machines 1,000 years ago, which makes them an advanced race from the past. Okay, a different era. So, advanced races from the past are following me, watching me, and studying my every move. And there's different craft too. There's when we go through this video, and there's different shaped ones, different versions. Here we get into some of the other versions. Whoops. Like that one right there, and the little pop-up. They're planes, they're flying machines. That's the famous one right there. Some other little versions. But this colony of natives that made these gold trinkets had an interaction with this race, and they made these trinkets as a representation of what they saw. Okay, and I expect to see other vehicles like this one. I captured the other one, but I'm still waiting to capture this one, and this one right here in the pop-up, that one right there, actually looked like it came from behind the sun. It looked like it got towed out from behind the sun, like it was broken down and something came out and towed it out. So this one showed up next to the sun, and then this thing showed up the next day. Okay, and it follows me around everywhere I go. At first it was very disturbing, and it was like I get used to it after a while. Okay, then we go back to this.
Day, because I've been seeing these events unfold in the sky every day now, so I've been getting lots of pictures and not even enough time to process them yet, but here we go. So this one I saw unfolding when I was driving, and I couldn't take a picture until I got to this stoplight, so I squeezed off as many pictures as I could at this stoplight, and we're going to start zooming in, pulling it over a little bit, and maybe some of you see it.
Okay, there's Yoda right there in the clouds. There's an eye. His other eye has a stubby little nose and chubby little cheeks. He's got the stubby little chin that's right down there. Here's his wrinkled head. His ear going out this way, another ear going out that way. So here's Yoda, a giant Yoda head in the sky, watching me, studying me, following me everywhere I go. And then I'm like, what? Why is Yoda? What's the Star Wars thing? But then I figured it out. Let's go ahead and play it here.
But there's Yoda in the sky right there. Yes. And lots of pictures and not even enough time.
Okay, now that we're pulled back, let me go full screen here. You can see the Sierra Nevada mountains down here. You can see this road and an intersection with a stoplight. So you can see how big these mountains are in the distance right here. Look how big this Yoda head is in the sky over the Sierra Nevadas. Okay, I'll let you just kind of look at that image for a minute and let you kind of absorb that. All right. And I was wondering, what's the Star Wars theme? Why is Yoda's head? But then Yoda dies. He's an ascended master who, if you listen to his teachings in Star Wars, it's, wars make not one great. You don't try anything. You do or you do not. There's no try. There's a lot of spiritual aspects that they teach through this character in the movie, right? So he's an ascended master, okay? He's an ascended master who watches and follows and studies my every move, okay? He's watching and studying me, okay? Another miracle, another hint, another clue. All right, I got advanced races from the past that watch, follow, and study me. I have ascended masters like Yoda that watch, follow, and study me. Much like you guys do. You come here, you subscribe, so that's following. You watch the video, so that's watching. So you're watch, following, and now you're listening to my testimony. This is a testimony, okay? I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm giving you my testimony. And now you're studying my testimony, okay? So there's this giant Yoda head happens. It's just disturbing stuff. I mean, imagine this happening to you everywhere you go. People around you don't even notice. They're so buried in their cell phone looking at TikTok. This could be barking. Like a giant dog face could form in the sky and start barking at them, and they just go, huh? Wouldn't even notice. But that activity follows me everywhere I go. Ascended masters like Yoda watch, follow, and study me. Then we get, whoops, we don't have to open a new page. We can go, where are we going after this one? So we get all this stuff, all these giant faces, UFOs, all these different entities, all kinds of weird biblical scenes happening in the sky, in the clouds over my head, all kinds of weird stuff that I had captured, and some of the stuff I don't show you because it's just so off the wall. Here's this big arm reaching out of the clouds with a finger and a ring on it. This one was gnarly. Look at that.
It's a wedding ring.
It's God's arm reaching out, and he's holding his finger out, and there's a big ring on his finger. There's all kinds of entities in the clouds that are oohing and awing over this ring. And it's so funny when you zoom in on the ring, the diamond on it is like way out of proportion. It looks like a ring pop. You know what a ring pop is? The big old candy ring. It's the diamond is that big out of proportion. You know, let's see if we can. Here's the diamond right there. That's the big old diamond. And look how big it is compared to this finger. So it's way out of proportion. All right, so we capture weird stuff like that. But back to our dot to dot. Okay. Now everything I've shown you is true. Okay. This is a testimony of what happened to me. I'm not trying to brag or whatever. I'm trying to show you what I've been through and where
pick a matching set with
where my experience comes from. Okay. You're witnessing my
Folks,
experience.
welcome back. So snapping some pictures of the clouds yesterday, and I noticed something forming in the clouds. What looked like a face over here. And I'm gonna start zooming in on this face because it's a real face. And if you look back behind it here, let's zoom in just a little bit. You'll notice that back behind here, this face is being projected by Jesus's heart right here. You can see it radiating out. Here's Jesus's face. He's pulling open his shirt, exposing his heart. His heart's radiating out this image in the sky.
Okay, so I got these faces in the clouds that follow me everywhere I go. I look up and I see this face forming in the sky right here. So I take out the camera, I start taking some pictures of it. It's not until I get home later that I recognize, wait a second, this face is different. This is my face. Why is my face showing up in the clouds? And then you can kind of make out this little crown right here. See it right there? And I'm like, wait a second. Oh, I remember that angel throwing a crown at me. Oh, this is my face with a crown. Huh. Wonder why my face with a crown is showing. Oh, maybe because I reported on the dragon. Oh, you know, it's a little hint. Oh, you did good. You know, here's your reward. You know, here's your face with a crown giving you a little, little clue that, you succeeded or whatever, right? So that's what I was thinking it is. It's not until later I look back behind it and find out that, oh, wait a second, this face is being projected by Jesus's heart. But I find that out later. I didn't even see that part for a long time. I'm looking at the face, right? I'm looking at this over here, not back here. So it wasn't until later I seen the other part back behind here. Now, at this phase right here, I'm going, what? What's happening here? I'm capturing some really weird stuff. And then I showed you the dragon in that UFO showing up the day before Easter. After posting that video, I went down to the same spot, knowing the next day is Easter. So I'm going to go back to the same spot and see what I capture on Easter. Okay? And this is what we capture on Easter.
Welcome back. So I know there's a lot of activity going on the sun, but I really don't feel like reporting on that stuff right now. Actually, I want to go back and revisit an event that happened earlier this year, 2020, around Easter, when I captured what appears to be Jesus in the clouds here. So I need you to tilt your head to the right about 45 degrees.
That means tilt your head to the right, your right shoulder, not your left. You don't like bend your whole head. You just tilt your head to the right. This, just like the angel, this image is at a 45-degree angle. You see it better first when you tilt your head.
There's an eye, his other eye, his nose, his mouth, his chin and beard, his hair flowing back like this, and you can make out a crown up here above his head. That crown is hovering over his head. There seems to be almost a little halo around his head too. And once you see that image, then we can zoom in just a little bit tighter. There you go. Okay, and this event happened over a course of about an hour, and I got a lot of pictures of it. See, if we go up above here, you can see all these pictures up from way over here going across, or all of this event, and I'm going to show you more of what happened here. Okay, that this face has changed now. Now we're seeing a more round, like lion type face with the nose right here. Here's an eye coming out here, an eye going that way. Here's its mouth slit, the chin going down here. So this round face right here with a crown still above it. Now I'm going to go through and show you the flip book where it changes from Jesus to this lion face. Okay, now we're here at this image right here. This is a flip book of about maybe 15 or 20 of those pictures, and it's the transition between Jesus's face and the lion face. Now this happened in the clouds, and it was so big and in your face you couldn't see it.
Now, I've described that effect to you too.
It wasn't until I took these images and zoomed
that these are in a different dimension. They're outside your perspective. You would have to step outside your body and walk like a mile back and turn around to see this perspective, because it's outside your range of vision. So if this, like HAARP or something like that, why would they do it something outside your perspective, right? This is the spiritual realm, okay? Everything I'm showing you is the spiritual realm. Every single thing is a miracle, a hint, and a clue, all right? When we come back to this image right here, I just showed you my face wearing a crown. I recognize my face again. Here's my face with a crown showing up on Easter. A 2,000-year-old prophecy came true. Okay. Now we continuing on. Whoops, wrong way. We're going that way. Now we're going to take it down to the mark I have on my chest. So also, while we're down in the garage and I'm taking pictures and stuff like that, I told you about EVPs, electromagnetic voice print, that's left on, its residue left on like video or audio sometimes will be left on a video. You can't hear it audibly, but when played back later, you hear the spiritual realm talking and leaving evidence or electromagnetic residue on an audio. Okay. Maybe we should go to this first. Okay. Regardless of what's happening in this video, this is an example. I'm sitting out here recording, praying on the couch like this, right? I listen to the radio and I'm listening to Coast to Coast, and sometimes I listen to the local radio station, okay? Now, one night I'm out here and I've been capturing all this stuff, right? All this weird stuff happening to me. Nobody believes me. And so this night I'm out here just praying, and there's music playing, and it's playing the local radio station out of the neighboring city, okay? And it's a FM radio station. They're playing live. They're broadcasting their music. It's, coming from the studio. During a song, one of my favorite songs, singing along, and the music kind of grinds down to a halt. It doesn't stop suddenly. The music goes, and everything gets really quiet. All the crickets stop chirping. Even the clock on the wall stops ticking. And then I hear an EVP come through the radio station and address my name, Brian. And I'm going, okay, maybe the government's doing stuff, talking through the radio station type, blah, 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 whatever. But then it says my name again, Brian. This weird, like, digital type musical tune, like musical metal bells type voice, digital bells, Brian, like that. I'm like, whoa, what was that? And then it says it again. And I'm like, do I answer back to the radio station? What? So I go, I'm going to entertain this. Okay, what? And then it says back, you are God. And I'm like, what? And then it starts to click. All the angels, Mary, all the faces in the clouds, the UFOs since I was a kid, the birthmark, all this stuff. Wait a second. And now the angels that were bowing in front of me on the camera, it's all starting to make sense. And now this EVP comes through the radio in a different realm. Time stops. The clock stopped. The crickets stopped. The music stopped. It was dead silent. I got an EVP message through the radio telling me that I was God. And I'm like, what? And then it said it again. You are God. And I thought about everything. It all clicked. It all came together. And I responded, I know. How embarrassing being him this whole time and not knowing and having to go through this process to find out my true identity. Then the angel tells me about my birthday. And I'm like, what's up with that? I see my birthday all over the place. And it says, well, that's not all. Your birthmark was a mortal wound you suffered in a previous life. I'm like, what's that? I never heard of that before. So he says, your birthmark was a mortal wound you suffered in a previous life. And I'm like, well, I don't even have a birthmark. So I had to search my body for a birthmark. At the time that happened, I had a shattered shoulder. Okay, I shattered my shoulder into multiple pieces, broke my arm in several places. My shoulder is gone. It's just gone. They can't fix it. There's too many pieces. It's just unfixable. So meantime, my arm's in a sling and I can't lift up my arm. But it's later on when I finally do get my arm out of the sling that I'm able to lift my arm and find the birthmark. And here we go with this.
On how to do this video. So please bear with me here. So first off, I want you to look at my ID here. So you know who I am, I say I am.
Note my date of birth, March 24th, 1970. That's 3 days after spring. Spring is March 21st. The spring, the equinox, the celestial calendar, the Jesus is the spring, from which all life flows from which it's renewed. 3 days later, he rose 3 days later. 3 days later than what? Later than what? What's the date that's the 3 days later from? Well, maybe it's from spring or the equinox. 3 days later, March 24th, 1970. 70 is all over the Bible. My birthday is in the Bible. Actually, the Bible is kind of about my birthday. If you read it correctly, it'll start to make sense and you'll go, oh, wait a second. Oh, no way. Uh-huh. Okay, now let's continue. Let's just get right to the meat.
A mortal wound suffered on your body in a previous life comes back on your next body as a birthmark. And this is the birthmark that I have on the side of my chest. See?
It's important that you see this birthmark too, because there's faces in it. There's a message in that birthmark here. We're just going to keep going here for a minute, because that's the message we got to get to tonight.
A different image here too. There it is again. Okay.
It's a stab wound. And let me tell you about Hollywood. Hollywood tells you you stab down here in the gut or the second rib or whatever. No. Go look at the Shroud of Turin. There's no blood from that area. The Shroud of Turin's a real deal. The blood's coming from this area. It was stabbed right there. Second rib down, not from the bottom up. That's the real mark. That's the mark. I didn't even know I had this. Angels told me about it. Angel means messenger, by the way.
See? Okay. There it is again.
Sorry, it's gross, my hairy armpit, but
Just to prove that this is me, I'm going to go over here. Why is this?
remember that face out by the moon?
Hi. Okay, there we go.
Here, let's just get right to it.
It's too bright. There it is. See?
Hang on. Okay, trying to point something out here. This is the stab wound, all right? In this are three faces. There's the face of the devil right here with the nose, chin, horns, two eyes. This face right here, in freckles, in dots, is the devil's face. Right here is Jesus's face. Wait. We don't want lines. We want color. Whoops. All right, there we go. This face, here's Jesus's face, and then here's the face of God right here. 2 eyes, nose. It's a white face. See, it's in a different dimension kind of than these two. All right? These 3 faces right here, all in one entity, all in one person, okay? It's important that you guys understand. How do I do this gently? I am God and the devil all in one person, okay? 2 things can be possible at the same time. Now, what's important about this, and the reason why I have to do this and reveal this now, is because the world needs to understand, especially the Muslim community. All right? You guys understand that I'm Jesus. They need to understand that I'm Allah as well. Okay? Everybody got it wrong. The Muslims got it wrong. Christians got it wrong. But I'm here to set the record straight. Okay? Now, this is a little scary. I know it's a little weird. But God is good and evil, knowing good and evil and choosing good. All right? I have used this several times as a reference to help you guys understand a little bit better who I am and who you are, because you have, well, without the blinding the camera here. Try something like this, maybe. There we go. All right. Your bisymmetry. You are a spiritual entity who has the potential for good and evil. Okay? This is your spiritual identity. You have a bipolar morphism. You're part evil and part good. Now, it's a battle of your mind, which side you're going to cave to, right? Now, what's important for the world to know, okay, I'm talking to the world now, as well as my family. Once you guys grasp who I am, this will solve your issues and your wars. You guys are fighting over religion that you all got wrong. It's time that you admit that you were wrong and stop fighting each other over religion. It's about a relationship. It's about spiritual warfare inside your own mind, overcoming each day, salvage work each day, okay? Once the Muslim community understands I'm their God, and the Christian community understands I'm their God as well, well, then what's all the fighting about? You guys fighting over how wrong you were? Yeah. I can change this whole scenario right now. But it takes you guys' belief. Okay? I've been through a lot. I have been to hell and back with this information to help you guys at this vital time in history. Key moment in history right now. Did you know that if you believed me, that I would hear from heaven and heal this world? Okay? It's important that you understand this, okay? I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to try to enlighten you, all right? It's hard because when people say, oh, you're the devil, you're a liar. Oh, you don't believe him because he's the devil, he's a liar. Listen to this. How hard would it be to admit you're the devil? All right? That takes some truth, right? So, I understand who I am. The angels told me, you are God. When I said, I know, Well, that meant I know this part too, and it's heartbreaking, and it broke my heart. All right. It's hard to accept that, yeah, I'm a good guy, but I have the propensity for evil just like you. So I do my spiritual workout, I do my spiritual warfare. Okay. And I try to salvage each day. I take what I've learned and I pass it on to my family. Okay. This is what changes the world right here. I'm here right now, talking to you right now. When you grasp that concept and you understand how blessed you are, what time frame we're in, what can be done about this at the last minute, we can do a course correction, and then we all know what that course correction entails. You read the Bible, right? There's a couple other things we should explain. First go around, I'm the Son of God, right? No father, no earthly father, born of a virgin. This go around, I had an earthly father. I had a earthly father who split and took off before I was born, leaving me as a bastard. Technically, I'm a bastard because my dad left. I got to be careful how I say this because I don't want to offend my beautiful mother, who's very strict, very hard, very prudent. They're wonderful qualities, but a lot of her coworkers would snicker and say behind her back, "Your mom's a bitch." And I know because I was raised by her, she was tough on me, but that's okay. It made me strong. But technically, I would be the bastard son of a bitch. That's what I am. I am the bastard son of a bitch, okay, who fights the spiritual warfare to become good, all right? This is the battle that you're taking on, all right? Inside, in your own spiritual warfare, you have this propensity, good and evil. It's a battle of the mind. Don't fall victim to the media and all the evil stuff they're throwing at you. All right? Even the fear of war. Let me tell them about war. You guys don't even go to war because you're just playing patty cake in the sandbox. Okay? You don't want to go to real war. Okay? Now is the time for the world to pull head out of their ass, swallow hard, accept some hard truths, listen closely, pay attention, understand, accept. Something else that's very, very, very important. If I am for you, who can be against you? If I love you, you're secure. But if you hate me and you don't like me, well, then you're going to have to deal with me one way or the other. Everybody is going to have to deal with me one way or the other. I prefer it be this way so we can all ascend, okay? It's been a hard learning process here on this fallen planet, okay? And you guys are making spiritual achievements, okay? You're fighting the evil within. That's your spiritual warfare, okay? Now you have elements in your media, your lying governments, your military's going to war and killing people instead of trying to rescue their own country. All of our soldiers that took an oath to defend this country are over somewhere else. And, well, it's important that you guys understand this. It's important that the world gets this because the Muslim community is not going to be too happy to find out that I'm Allah and that they were deceived. But then the Christian community's been deceived as well. So it's going to be kind of hard for people to grasp this concept until they start doing spiritual work of their own. And then they go, Oh, yeah, I guess I do have that propensity. And what you're teaching me is this side. Well, that would make you who you say you are, wouldn't it? Like I said, I have UFOs that follow me, watch me, study my every move. I have spiritual masters, ascended masters like Yoda that study me and watch and follow me because they want to see my spiritual achievements. I take on life at 100-fold. My days are so intense and so brutal, but I fight through them. I try to keep a smile, even though I get kicked in the nuts and, right back down into the ditch again. I crawl back out of it each time. Okay. And that's my job. That's my job. Okay. Like I said, I deal in a theater where no other soldier can. Okay. I take on Satan face to face. Don't I? I am the one who fights Satan face to face. And I'm telling you that you have that propensity and you need to fight Satan face to face because it lies within you as well. Okay? I hate having to do this because it usually ends with people going, oh, you're all this. And you get the whole wrong idea. You really need to read your Bible. Okay? Jesus' return, the second coming. Okay? Maybe there's 2 second comings. The first time he was just here. There's a coming. Then he gets denied. Nobody believes him. And then there's a second coming. And it has to be done because it's the only process that'll get the world to be awake and believe. It's not until they're in adversity that they finally turn around and go, oh, please, God, show me some mercy. Oh, finally you come around when it's finally to that point, huh? You couldn't have just believed me and taken my advice and just gone and practiced the principles. Okay. So we're going to do a little reading here. Okay. And I'm going to take that face down because, it's heartbreaking. Okay. Everybody would think it would be thrilling to find out that you're the chosen one, that you're God. Yay! Oh, cool! I get to be the one who pushes everybody around, calls the shot. No, it's not about that at all. No, it's actually a heartbreaking life of pain and misery and sorrow. Okay, it's not what everybody thinks it's cracked up to be. Okay, especially when nobody believes you. I got to do this shit. I got to come on YouTube and confess and spill all the beans and do it this way in order to get the world's attention, to get them to snap out of it, to pull their head out of their ass. I'm sorry, but I cuss sometimes. You'll understand that part of me. Okay, that's why, how could you be Jesus if he cusses? Well, because I'm God. I'm not just Jesus. I'm God. I am God and the devil all in one. It's in your music. Every song has the phrase, Brian Knight is God and the devil all in one. You better start listening closer to your music. It's in your jingles, your tunes, your commercials. It's all over the place. It's subliminally. The master has been telling you through music subliminally this whole time who he is. Okay? And there's a reason also for this. It's called respect. See, Jesus would be the soft guy. Oh, he would never strike back. He would never do anything. Well, he comes back as a lion, not as this lamb. Better start playing ball. Everybody around the world better get the message and get it real quick, like yesterday, because time is running out. Okay? I've been very gracious, very forgiving. I like this job. I love my family. It's my honor to have to do this duty. It's excruciatingly painful. Okay, there's no like no recognition. Some people do. There are some believers who recognize the sacrifice, you know, the pain of burning in hell and stuff. The not just the crucifixion. There was other stuff too that had to happen too. Other keys that I own. Okay, it's important you guys get it. Understand that I am God. I am Jesus and the devil. I'm God and the devil all in one. You saw that little entity being born in my garage. Okay. And the rest of the world's finding out really quick and things are changing. So hold on tight. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of me because you are family and I love you. It's for those who hate me, who resist me, who think that they're going to be tougher than me because I'm such a softy and such a nice guy that I'll forgive you. And oh, no, this is fear and respect. Since you can't get the respect out of some people through this sacrifice, well, you get respect out of fear. There's two ways you get respect. It's out of love and out of fear. Okay? You're bad guys around the planet that you think they're getting away with evil. You think they're getting away with evil. Don't even think that. You can breathe a sigh of relief going, ooh. Remember that thing I was telling you about the teacher when he left the classroom and the classroom went nuts? Except for a few kids who did what the teacher said and they opened their book to chapter 4. And in the book it says, the teacher is doing an experiment on your behavior. She's watching right through the window. So you're that kid in the class who already knows the teacher's watching through the window, and now you're watching the behavior of the rest of the class, aren't you? And they're throwing spit wads, and it's getting into this. Now the desks got flipped over. Now the bully's picking on the little punk, or the little nerd, sorry. That kind of scenario breaking loose in a classroom, right? With the teacher gone, the kids are going to play. Pretty soon the bully's picking on the nerd. You got all kinds of different behavior going on, right? But the teacher is watching through the window and the door. Only a few kids in the class know about that. That would be you. Even in replay, that would be you. You would be the kids in the class knowing about the test that's going on. Meanwhile, the rest of the class is screwing off, getting in trouble. All this is being recorded, and it's going to be held against you. If you did good, well, that's going to be held against you too. You're going to be like, oh, you helped somebody? Well, they're just going to have to help you back tenfold. Yeah, and you'll be rewarded, and they'll be the one paying tenfold, okay? Important that you understand this stuff and trust me and believe me. I showed you my testimony. I showed you everything that I've been through. It hasn't been easy to do this and to confess this because here you get everybody to believe that you're Jesus, right? And then you spoil that by telling them you're the devil too. Well, it has to be done. It's in order for the world to grasp the concept, for the Muslim community to pull their heads out of their ass, realize they've been deceived. I am Allah. I am Jesus. I am God. I have many names. I have many names. Still the one entity, one God. That's it. Just one. A lot of misinterpretations because it is very confusing and complex. You know, he's the lion, but he returns as a lion to devour. Is he a lion or is he a lion or is he a lion? Oh, he's the same lion. That's why it didn't make sense, or you thought it was this and it was that. Now, all of a sudden, things will start to make sense. You are indeed in a spiritual war. I am the leader of the spiritual warfare department. And you are the recruits. We are up against Satan, okay? In the spiritual realm. This is how well do you love? How well do you love during this lifetime? Did you cave into hate? Or did you stand strong in love and in forgiveness? Okay, this is a true test. This is the spiritual war that you're in, okay? And I'm in it too. I go before you, like I've already experienced this stuff now, so I went before you. I'm still going through it right now, so I go alongside you as you go through it at the same time. I have already achieved victory, so we're going to victory. I go before you as well as beside you, and I will take you into victory if you practice the disciplines. Okay? The disciplines, the disciplines, the disciplines. It's a code of life. It's a code to live by. It should have been taught in school. But no, we have an insane society that's all greed. All greed, 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 greed. All they care about is money. And they will teach you how to be a good robot and be a good worker so you pay your taxes. I want you to be in a spiritual entity, knowing your true capacity and your true, you have power. Okay. Thank you, Lord. That was so hard. Thank you, Jesus, for helping me with that one. Okay. So, I know it's an ugly picture and it's not the best one to read to, but it's going to be our picture for tonight because of the theme. Okay? It's important that you understand this. I'm not trying to scare you, but it should give you a moment of hesitation and some respect and some fear a little bit, not fear, but respect. Okay? Because I love you and I don't want you scared. I want you to understand. Okay? So let's start on this one right here. Your citizenship is in heaven, and someday I will transform your lowly body so that it will be like my glorious body. All this side. No more of that side anymore. Okay? All glorious body. You will have a new body without this affliction. Do you understand that part? Good. Okay, because you currently have that affliction, and I'm here to help you with that. Okay. So I will transform your lowly body into your perfect glorified body, which will be all this side. You'll be complete. You won't be all demonic. You'll have the whole Godhead. Okay. So, I will transform your lowly body so that it will be like my glorious body. You will have an eternity to enjoy your perfect glorified body. So don't be overly concerned about your physical condition right now. Many of my followers cling desperately to their earthly lives when they are at the very portals of paradise. Yet once they let go and pass through that thin veil into heaven, they experience ecstatic joy, surpassing anything they've ever imagined. So, work hard at it so you can have that joy that surpasses everything you could ever imagine. It's worth that fight. Okay? Now, your times are in my hands. I have planned out all your days, and I know exactly how many you have left. Now, since your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, I expect you to take care of it, but I don't want you to be too focused on its condition. The people that work out too much and they over-exercise or whatever, it's not about your physical body, it's about your spiritual body. Okay, your spiritual condition. I'm trying to get light on that and on my book time here. My notes here. All right. Now, we're all like here. So, many followers cling desperately to their earthly lives when they're at the very portals of paradise. And once they let go and pass through the thin veil into heaven, they experience ecstatic joy, surpassing everything they've imagined. Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. I expect you to take care of it, and I don't want you to be so focused on the physical body condition. I want you focused on your spiritual condition. Now, this can make you anxious and distract you from my presence. So instead, receive each day as a precious gift from me. Now, let's get ugly old Brian Alfred there and put on. Oh, did he mess up this gift? Can I have this one back, please? Remember how good it used to look in the video? See how they messed it up? They did that shit on purpose. Oh, I know. No. Thank you. All right. There we go. I can have this light back. There we go. Where's the one where it's standing up? Oh, there we go. Try and get you all these images here, okay? There we go. A little bit better images to read to there, okay? Important that you know, real deal. Happening, and you are actually the real part of it, too. You're actually in it. You're getting to know me. The relationship, not the religion that causes wars. Okay. I got so much here. All right. So your body's the temple of the spirit, and everybody's so worried about taking the condition. They're worried about how to treat that temple that it makes them anxious, which distracts from my presence. So instead, receive each day as a precious gift from me. Each day is a gift, right? So you got to receive it that way. Boy, my mornings are rough. Let me just describe the 5th of July, real quick. Imagine millions of people drunk driving and texting and trying to use their phone at the same time going through your head. It's so confusing and so like your head spins and swirls, and it just it's so overwhelming that it can make you anxious. And it sometimes I get distracted from my presence, and I have to put myself together each morning. Like there are pieces scattered all over of me, all over the floor, and I pick up one piece and I put it on, pick up another piece, and like put myself back together each morning. And it's not easy, but I look at it each day as a precious gift. All right, so instead of dreading all that, I look at it as the challenge. That's the battlefield. Okay, it's the spiritual battlefield. Receive each day as a precious gift. Okay, that's why we do the salvage work, because if you're pissed off all day, it's not a gift, is it? So look for both the pleasures and the responsibilities I've placed before you on your path. Hold my hand in joyful trust. I am always by your side. Okay, that one side of your brain, I am always by your side. Okay, that one side of your brain that has good, I'm always by your side. Now, here we go. I am making you new in the attitude of your mind. Living close to me is all about newness and change. I am transforming you by the entire renewal of your mind. This is a massive undertaking, isn't it? Yeah. Meanwhile, I got all the pain and everything else. I got this huge, massive undertaking and all the other stuff going on too. So I am transforming you by the renewal of your mind, the entire renewal of your mind. And it's a massive undertaking. You will be under construction until the day you die. So guess what? You're a construction site. You're under construction every day of your life. When you look at it in that perspective, then all of a sudden you're out there building. You're like, oh shit, I'm under construction. Well, so let's build a proper me. Okay. Okay, so this massive undertaking is you are under construction, and unlike the inanimate materials that builders use to construct houses, you are living, breathing material. So people build houses out of wood and metal, right? I build out of you. You are the living, breathing material. Uh-oh. Did you know that? Did you know that you are the living, breathing material? And unlike regular materials the builders use, I use you. You are the living, breathing material I use. I have given you the amazing ability to think things out and make important choices. I want you to use this godlike ability. Do you hear me? Godlike ability. I want you to use this godlike ability to cooperate with me as I transform you. This involves putting off your old self, your old way of thinking and your old doing things, and putting on a new self. Right there. The entire Christian world, the entire Muslim world needs to put off their old self and their old way of thinking because they were wrong. Everybody got it wrong. So you're going to have to get rid of that old self and that old way of thinking and the old way of doing things and get ready to put on a new self. To make good, godly choices, you need to know me as I truly am. Okay? That's right there. That's where I had to come forth with who I truly am. Okay? It's been hard for me. It's hard for you guys. It's heartbreaking to find out that, yes, I am indeed this, but I'm also the other too. So it's important that you know me as I truly am. That's what will make you make good choices. You'll know that those choices could have, bad results, right? So when you know that somebody's watching and just you know that where you stand now and that somebody's watching, you can either choose to be transformed or keep living in that old style. You can put off your old self and your old way of thinking and doing things and become a new creation and put on the new self. Make good, godly choices. To make these good, godly choices, you need to know me as I truly am. Search for me in my word. The Bible spells out my character. Search for me in the word. Ask my spirit to illuminate it. To illuminate the word. So you're searching for me in the Bible. You're looking for my characteristics, my qualities, but you're not quite getting them all. So ask the Spirit to illuminate those qualities for you. If you still have questions and you're doubting me, go to the Bible and ask the Spirit to illuminate the Bible for you so you can know me as I truly am. Ask the Spirit to illuminate the Bible, shining its light so that scriptures come alive to you. Because the scripture should come alive to you. It's not just a boring old book of this, thou, thee. No, the Bible should come alive to you, man. It's like a good book. You can't put it down. You get caught up in it, especially when you know it's true. All of a sudden, you're like, uh-oh, this is a true story? I thought it was I just thought it was the Bible. I didn't know it was a true story. Yep. Ask the Spirit to illuminate the Bible to you so that the scriptures come alive to you. The more you choose to live according to my will, the more you will become like me, and the more you can enjoy walking in the light of my presence. Okay, you get to walk in the light of my presence. I am present here. That should give you peace and relief and courage. And you'll be walking in the light of my presence. Overcoming every day. Doing salvage work every day. Some days, yeah, you go pretty smooth and you don't have to do salvage work. Then you can help others salvage their day. Yeah, that can hook to these, I guess. We can close with that. All right, so, again, refuse to worry. Displace those worry thoughts with trusting and thankful thoughts. Affirm your faith in me while praising me for all that I am and all that I've done. This combination of praise and trust is potent. Okay? You want something potent? You want something that really works? Try the combination of praise and trust because it's potent. It drives away anxiety. It drives away the powers of darkness. It also strengthens your relationship with me. And you might still have legitimate concerns to deal with, but I will help you with them. So as you become more peaceful, you can look at your problems in the light of my presence and then seek my counsel. Let Scripture inform your thinking so that I can communicate with you more clearly. How do I communicate with you more clearly? Let Scripture inform your thinking. Go back to the Bible. Read some more Bible. Let Scripture inform your thinking so that I can communicate with you on this show more clearly. No, we lose that one. Oh well. Trying to keep them all in frame there. Now, here we go. So, to drive away the anxiety and the powers of darkness, the combination of praise and trust, it strengthens your relationship with me, and you still have real concerns, but I help you with them. You become more peaceful as you look at your problems in the light of my presence and in my counsel. You're reading the Bible. Scripture is informing your thinking so that I can communicate with you more clearly. And then take time to thank me for the good things in your life. I want you to express gratefulness in your prayers and in your conversations with others, okay? Gratefulness in your conversations with others, gratefulness in your prayers, and gratefulness in your private thoughts. I want you to express gratefulness in your prayers, in your conversations with others, and in your private thoughts. I read your thoughts continually, and I rejoice when they contain gratitude. Okay, when they contain gratitude, I rejoice. Why is it always clicking on me when I do my work? Okay. Okay, because we're getting to the meat now. So, you let Scripture inform your thinking so I can communicate with you more clearly. You take time to thank me for the things in your life. That's good for your mental stability, okay? I want you to express gratefulness in your prayers, your conversation with others, and in your private thoughts. That's where your mental health really starts to excel. You feel good. When you're feeling good, I read your thoughts continually, and I rejoice when they're gratitude thoughts, when they're happy and you're believing and it's really working. They're gratitude. Okay. Try doing this. Try thanking me for things you wish were different. That's a hard one. Everybody wants things different. You can thank me even for the things you wish were different. This act of faith helps you break free from negative thinking. Bingo. Act of faith. Act of faith helps who? Helps you. Helps you what? Break free. Break free from what? Negative thinking. Did you hear me? This act of faith helps you break free from negative thinking. That's what we're trying to do here, is break the cycle of negative thinking. How many of you jumped up this morning and went right to your phone to check out the headlines? And then it was this, and you just got, oh my God, now you're all stressed, right? How many of you waited until 5 o'clock this afternoon before you went and checked the news? I did. I saw that. But it's all good. This act of faith helps you break free from negative thinking. So in everything, give thanks. That's the gratitude, right? The grateful thinking. So in everything, give thanks. And this is my will for you. In everything, give thanks. Even the bad stuff. Oh, you're the devil too? Oh, thank God you are, because now I'm on your good side. Whew. If you're for me, who could be against me then, huh? Right? In fact, if I am for you, who can be against you? You have victory, don't you? If I'm for you, and I'm also Satan, or the devil, then who can be against you? Mankind. That's who can be against you. The evil in places of power, that's who's against you. Because if I am truly for you, who can be against you? It's essential for you to grasp that I truly am for you. It's essential for you to grasp I am truly for you. This is a promise for all my followers. When things are not going your way and people you trusted turn against you, it's easy to feel as if you've been abandoned. At such times, it's vital to tell yourself the truth. When you're feeling abandoned, it's time to swallow hard and tell yourself the truth. I am not only with you, I'm not only with you always, okay, always, I am also for you all the time. So I'm with you always and for you all the time. Well, then you're not abandoned. So if you're feeling abandoned, well, you're not. It's important that you understand that I am with you always and I am for you all the time. And this is true, especially on days when you perform well and on days when you don't. When people treat you well and when they don't. I still am for you. Whether they treat you well or they don't, whether you perform well or don't, does not change the fact that I'm always for you. And if you really understand and fully believe that I am for you, then fear will diminish and you can face adversity more calmly. Knowing that I will never turn against you gives you confidence to persevere in tough times. I approve of you, beloved, because you are mine. It is my opinion of you that prevails, not everybody else's. It's my opinion of you that prevails, and it will continue to prevail throughout eternity. There's no person and no thing that will be able to separate you from my loving presence. Nothing can separate you from my loving presence. That was a lot. That was hard. Yeah, and that's that was the shebang right there. That was the closer. So, important to understand what's going on. You guys are in spiritual warfare, okay? Sorry, I have to do this one more time, but important that you understand you are a spiritual being having a physical experience, okay? You're being tested in for real, physically, really being tested. It's not like, hey, we're asking you a few questions. No, this is the real test. It's not a bunch of questions. You're on the course, like the Marines training course. Obstacle course. You got to leap over this, jump over that, all this while this is going on inside your head. Don't let the media get to you. Don't let them anger you. Don't fall victim to that side. Okay. Whoa. Oh, okay. Listen to this. Wow, this just came in. How do you say that again? I push you. What? I push you to the darkness just to pull you to the light. Because I can take away your breath, or I can bring you back to life. I push you to the darkness just to pull you to the light. Because I can take away your breath, or I can bring you back to life. Wow. Cool. Thanks, Lord. I guess we close with that then, huh? All right. I love you all. I miss you all. Sorry I have to. But it's important you guys know. All right? And it's kind of important that the world kind of knows too. Because I know there's a little agency out there that is eavesdropping. And they got all these wonderful questions. Well, what about this and what about that? We can solve all these problems real quick. But it's kind of up to you guys. It's important that the Muslims understand that I'm also Allah too. Uh-oh. That'd put a halt to everything, wouldn't it? Well, the Jews find out that I'm real. Oh, but that'd put a halt to everything too, huh? What if both sides found out how wrong they were? I want to use some other explanatory adjectives, but we'll keep it kind of friendly. They would understand where their mistake was. And then we could start the healing process of doing unto other nations as you would have done to you. Maybe some proper trading agreements. Hey, you guys produce that. We like that. But we produce this and you guys like that. We could, work together and build bonds of trust between nations instead of screwing each other nation screwing nation and stealing the people's money and giving it to another nation. All this can be fixed. All it takes is I'm here. I'm fixing the problem. You're either going to get on board or not. So, one way or the other, you're going to deal with me one way or the other. Okay? That's your choice. Try loving me. I love you guys. For those that hate me, fair warning. Okay? That's how it works. That's how it works. Okay? And if you're still here and you still love me, that shows, well, where you're going. Because you're still here. You still love me. And you're fascinated. You're caught up. This stuff is intriguing. It's informative. It's fascinating. It's like a good book, like the Bible, or a good song, like the songs, or like a good movie, like this show. You get caught up in it. It's intriguing. It's fascinating, and it's you get caught up in the moment. And this is me in the clouds. And if you see me in the clouds there and you're caught up with me in the clouds, well, then you're on the right path. If you think that you're going to levitate up into the air like Hollywood and be raptured, well, there is no word rapture in the Bible. In fact, you better start correcting everybody who does a lot of rapture stuff. Oh, the rapture. I had a rapture dream. I had a rapture. Bullshit, you had a rapture dream. I call bullshit. Because I know what the rapture is. I know what caught up with me in the clouds really is. So everybody who's saying, oh, I saw this and all this and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, right. Okay. Otherwise, you are the people who did not miss out. You are here. You're caught up with me in the clouds. We met in the air of cyberspace called live on YouTube. It's the only way I can reach the world. How am I supposed to get into every living room? Oh, did you guys just figure that one out? Oh, I can reach every living room, but I need help because algorithms and YouTube, well, they're not on my team. They're not doing themselves some favors. So when you share this, that blesses the people who receive it, as well as blessing you. Do you understand that when you share this, it blesses you? Read the Bible. When you share the Word of God, you are blessed, aren't you? Well, you're sharing images of the Word of God, which blesses you, blesses the people who receive it. Brian Knight is coming. Brian Knight is coming like a lion. Okay? I'm really here. It's a real deal. You guys should be more than satisfied by practicing some of the principles and finding relief. Understanding that your propensity for evil, that you are made in my image. Okay? The spiritual warfare is in your mind. Don't let these clowns in the media and in politics scare you. Okay? I'm here. They're gonna find out. They're gonna have to deal with me one way or the other. Okay? If you listen to Mike from around the world, he's already dropping hints. Okay? So I sure love you guys. I really do miss you. I can't wait until we're all back together as a family so I can reach over and give you a nice big old hug. Okay? Pat you on the back, say, job well done, man. You really fought that spiritual battle well. Okay? So Know what you're doing. This is spiritual warfare. I am the leader of the spiritual warfare department. You are disciples. You are recruits. You are to take this message and be the light and shine into other people's lives while there still is time. Okay? We can turn a lot of stuff around. A lot of knowledge, a lot of acceptance needs to be done here too. Some people need to swallow hard, kind of pull up their bootstraps, put on the big boy panties. Okay? Otherwise, you're going to have a bunch of lunatics that are just going to destroy this beautiful experience. Telling you, I could hear from heaven and restore the land. But until I hear from them, we're going through the process, right? So, you guys are truly precious to me. This is truly a precious family, okay? This is not just your regular YouTube family, okay? You come here for a reason. You're here at this channel for a reason, not by accident, okay? And you should rejoice. You should be happy. Even though we're going through adversity, you know what it's about. You know it's a test. You know it's a test of your character and your faith. And you guys are out there tackling it. You really are. I watch you guys like a hawk. And some of you are just making leaps and bounds. And I'm so happy for you. Most people would say, oh, I'm so proud of you. No, I am happy for you because you're getting that real relief. You are finding the peace that does indeed transcend your circumstances. Your mistakes have now turned into opportunities. Your fear is now faith. Your faith is now knowing. You now know. I have completed your faith into the realm of knowing. When you know and you trust, you feel better. Okay? I'm a real dude. I'm a real person. I have emotions. I have feelings, just like you. Everybody thinks, oh, God wouldn't have emotions and feelings, blah, 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 blah. Everybody got it so wrong. If you just read the Bible and just stick with what's in the Bible and quit trying to add this and add that and let Hollywood influence this and other religions influence that. Dude, it tells you right there, it's not about religion, it's a relationship. Well, you practice building relationships for this very day. So when you meet me, you will be versed at how to engage in a relationship. Okay, because these days it's hard to find anybody who can engage in a relationship, huh? Ask yourself. Huh. Well, you got me, okay? I'm always here for you, okay? I'm your big buddy. I really am. And I love you. I miss you. And until my next show, I will be back. I'm already back. Can't you tell? Bye.